The players are ready to come out and the band's just starting out.
I guess their band isn't performing.
They got nobody there. No parents hardly, no. There's like 30 parents there.
Alright, we're on live. So.
Okay. Are we still 1 and 2?
Yeah, you're still 1 and 2.
Okay.
And this
I put your pen back.
Okay.
Do you want this?
Yeah, I'll take it.
I have the money too.
Okay. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks. Everyone seems ready except we have no players. I see their team starting to come. I see their team starting to come.
No, they're not coming out yet.
Yeah, nothing from Onside.
You see a bunch of people coming out right now. It's school there in Highlands.
Yeah, that's them. Yeah, I see it.
There.
I got
You know what you're doing for the youth kids?
Yeah, I talked to Mike.
Okay, and can you announce that we have a...
1 second, sorry.
Really started?
Yeah.
You're waiting for your cue. 622.
You're standing right outside.
What are you telling?
Yeah, can you tell him on your way out? Because I gotta...
Super 50-50. All these announcements are all written down.
What are you doing, bro? Sorry.
What's this thing? Yeah, but we gotta start soon. I know. We need to figure out first of all which mic is mine and which one's yours. This should be mine. Here, wait, give me that one. Hey, Josh. How's it going? How's it going? Will, say something. Hi. Now mute one. One is muted. Oh, they're both muted. They're not. I can hear you. Damer, are we live? Damer. Are we live? Okay. Unmute one of them so we can figure out which one. Okay. Just don't say too much because we're live. Testing.
Oh no.
Wait,
Hey, Eric.
say something. Hi.
The Indians going down.
We have a problem.
Hi, Matt.
The Indians falling down.
What? Say something. Hey.
Can't hear you. Kids get trapped in there.
You can hear me? Wait,
That's our only glitch of the evening.
Yeah.
Speaking to me, would you?
Hello.
Testing.
There it goes.
Hello.
Oh, I can't hear. Must have tripped the plus.
Hi, how are you? Oh, I can't. Okay, beautiful. Figure out which one's mine and which one's yours. Alright. Wait. Gotta figure out which one's mine and which one's yours.
You can do the youth announcement now.
I feel like I sound so soft. You're two. How do you know? I just checked the wire. So mute one. Call. Hi. Yeah. Hi. No, you're one. Wait. Hello. So you're one. Hello. Wait, you're one. Matt. I muted both of them. That's the one I talked. No, you're one. Okay.
Well, you know what? He wants to get that super 50.
Hello.
What's that?
Can you hear me too or no?
Yeah. Scroll down the
No, I know.
Yeah,
Give me a chance.
Wait, no, stop it in there. No, don't.
Super 50-50. Thanks, Mike. Is that $3,000. Let's see if we can get tickets at the snack stand. Until the end of the first quarter, so get your chance. You can say something. 50-50.
Mute one and say something. Just mute one and say something. Hello. Yeah, you're one. I'm two. You can't hear anything. Because you're muted. You're one. Now I can hear you. This chair. Okay. This chair is so bad. Alright, what's the pregame? I got all the stats written down.
Yeah, give me a while. Let me read the officials. Let me read the officials.
I would have you read them, but you probably can't read them. So I'll just take us through the pregame. Ready? Okay, ready? Go for it. Ready? So low. And welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Wayne Valley Football here on the V. My name is Matt Crafting. And Will Michaels here. And tonight is shaping up to be a great one, as we have the Wayne Valley Indians, the 6-1 Wayne Valley Indians, taking on the 4-2 team from Northern Highlands.
Highlanders, yes.
What do you expect early on from this game?
Well, you know, Matt, the Indians here are on a big win streak, and they're playing a tough team here in Northern Highlands. So, I mean, we're just trying to expect each team here to play good off the start and just see how it turns out.
Yeah, taking a look a little further on in this, a little deeper in this Wayne Valley team. They are 6-1 on the season, 5-0 after that tough loss to Hills week 2. 4 out of the 5 games that they have won since then, they have won by more than 3 touchdowns. So they are not just winning, but they are really blowing out their opponents. They're just shy of 200 rushing yards per game. Star quarterback Tommy Moran has a .587 completion percentage this season with an 8-3 touchdown to interception ratio, which is very good. Senior star Lugo is averaging 4 yards a carry, and junior star Testa is averaging just under 7. And Will, I think we can both agree that Testa is the key for this offense. When they get him going, the offense goes well.
Oh yeah, junior John Testa is just incredible. You know, we see him, he's like a freight train on offense. When he gets the ball, he sees the hole, and he just goes and gets a bunch of yards every time he runs. Very key component to their offense here.
As far as the receiving game goes, Chase Hemming has been a favorite target for Tommy Moran. But really the story for this Indians team has been their rushing and their defense. Well, defense has been absolutely outstanding. They've
I won't tell him. Just tell him, Jeff.
Let me know what I'm saying.
So as we were saying, Will, John Testa is the key to this team. Aside from their rushing attack, it has been their defense. Their defense has been absolutely fantastic this year, Will. The defensive front is led by Justin Lopez, Joe Misha, Jordan Botero, and Ricky Ruggiero. All of them seniors. All of them have been a big part of the team this year. They've allowed under 20 points in every game they have played. They've allowed under 14 in all but one. And in that game, they only allowed 18. Well, this team has been compared to an old-school football type, defensive-minded and rushing-minded. You don't see that much.
No, you know, see a lot of new styles these days, and Wayne Valley has really been great. This defense is killing it, and their stat line is incredible right now.
As far as the Northern Highlanders go, they're averaging 229 rushing yards per game, and besides that, they've also been pretty good in the past. They're a little bit more balanced attack than the Indians are. They've had Harris, who's been a bell cow, and their quarterback, who has been great. But enough of the pregame talk, Will. The game is here. The Indians are going to kick off. Senior 11, Mohammed Gago, will kick it off to take over.
This game, you know, we asked him, they're on a big win streak, seeing how they're thinking going into this game. You know, Coach Collar said, you know, it's a big challenge, but they're not sneaking up on anybody anymore. They, you know, other teams know how good they are, but they got to keep that momentum and just keep playing strong. And just, you know, keep these other teams on edge, really, and just make sure that they're playing their game perfectly.
That sounds good, Will. Northern Highlands will start with 3 wideouts, one person in the tight end and one in the back. They are going to run offensive skills there, Will.
Yeah, clearly. You know, this Indians line, and we said they're big and they're really tough to get past. And
the thing
we see that really early for the Highlanders here.
The thing that makes them scary, Will, is that they're not only big, but they're quick. And when you get some people that are big and fourth and fifth
early in the game, wouldn't really make sense to not punt, but should be interesting.
However, it still is going to be 4th down, and the Highlanders are going to be forced to punt as the punt team comes on. For the Indians, back deep will be senior number 13, Chase Hemming. And he's had a pretty big year so far in punt returns, right, Will?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Cutlars.
Yeah, he's a huge part for this team. Gotta love him. 5 yards, not optimal.
Yeah, nice long punt, too, as that pushed him back, actually, even before he was able to get his hands on it from where he was set up. Yeah, you know, last time when they played Indian Hills, they did not do a good job on special teams, so we'll have to see how much of a role that plays.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how they've worked on this the past couple weeks, how they performed today on special teams. It is a big underrated part of the game, as Matt said previously.
For the Indians, they will start with 3 wide. one tight end and one person in the backfield. It's going to be the junior, John Testa. Tommy Moran under there.
And that extra point is good, bringing the score to 7-0 Indians very quickly at the start of the game here.
Well, there seems to be a trend for the Wayne Valley Indians as they get that ball and they just seem to be able to put up points early on that first drive. What kind of mental toll does that take on the opposing team?
I mean, you know, Valley just has this incredible way of just taking the momentum so early. And as the Highlanders here, they just see that right out of the gate. You know, they got stopped early on their drive and right back to the Indians, and they score a quick touchdown. So, I mean, that's got to hurt. We'll see how they develop with that because, I mean, that's going to call for some change in game plan here.
Great job there by Chase Hemming and great speed. We seems to be a little underrated at Chase's game. People don't really talk about his speed, especially being a bigger receiver. But I mean, he outraced them well.
Yeah, Chase outran about 4 guys from Northern Highlands there. Incredible run, very fast.
Great to see that the Highlands did not take advantage on defense. They missed the tackle, and Hemming made him pay in a big way as Wayne Valley goes up early. 15-yard line by Highlands. Taking it up, gets a couple of blocks, and he's going.
Happy birthday to cheerleader Gabby Garcia. Happy birthday, Gabby, on the Indians.
All yours now. I'm done talking. I'll save my state tournament announcements for later.
Did you see that?
Yeah, he was jumping.
He's going off.
Because here it is. It's anything and it's inconclusive. Therefore, it's an interception.
They got a camera up there, they got a camera down that end, I guess.
Unless there's a camera at that end, then you can see it.
There's one down there, I think. They have 3 cameras, right? There's 4 cameras.
You're right.
I think one has to be the
They're not like that far away. I was finding them around like 20 minutes. Yeah.
And it looks like after the play was under review, the official ruling is that it was a complete pass by the Indians. You know,
Actually, it's ruled as an incomplete pass.
incomplete pass.
It's
My
ruled
bad.
as an incomplete
My bad.
pass. It is not an interception. That's big for the Indians.
Yeah.
As they're given a second life here. They better be careful. I would bet a lot of money that I have that this play is going to be a run right here.
Yeah,
Try and
definitely.
make something.
Got to play it safe off of that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting as they've come out with this big passing attack, surprising Northern Highlands definitely, but it could have almost backfired right there. So expect the coach to go back to
you gotta
what's
think
worked.
The Indians here probably getting off pretty lucky. So we'll see what they could, you know, make this drive.
At least they want to get on the other side of the field just so that they have a little bit of more breathing room.
Definitely, Matt.
Wayne Valley's actually going to come out with 4 wide. Highlands seems like they're stacking the box, though. They're not expecting the pass. It is going to be a run up the middle to John Testa. He is going to gain 3 yards, and it will be a 3rd and 7 coming up for the Indians.
Yeah, decent play there for the Indians. You know, we expected a run, and Testa got a few yards. Should be interesting to see what they do with this next play. It is 3rd and 7 here.
As much as you and I don't like this,
And number 44, Benino Dorsey, the fullback, is going to check in as Mo Gega checks out. Could they be trying to fool the other team, or will they just go with the run and get that extra blocking? We'll have to see here, Will.
Yeah.
Interesting to note that far out to the wide is Elijah Lugo. We talked about him a lot. They're not playing press coverage on him. Wouldn't be surprised if I don't see something. It's actually going to be a quarterback draw to Tommy Moran. He's going to get close, but it's just going to be just short of a 4th down.
Yeah, it looks like about 1 yard to go.
Wait.
Maybe 4th and 1.
Coach has not made his decision yet, and now he is going to decide to punt. 4th and 1. You know, well, the people that would argue that you should go for it here, people that would argue that you shouldn't. makes sense for the Indians just to punt it away. No reason to take a shot this close.
I definitely agree with that, Matt. You know, they're up 7-0 in the first quarter here, so definitely a smart play by Coach Kottlers to punt this ball away to Northern Highlands.
And the defense has looked great, too, so there's no reason to try and take any chances here. Let's just back Highlands up a little bit. Hopefully Mo Gega can get a nice leg on this one. Gega is going to punt it. It's going to be a little bit of like a squib-style kick. Unreturnable, but he does get a very friendly bounce. Is going to be returned at the 22-yard line where Highlands will take over. What have you seen so far, Will? Is it that Wayne Valley's defense is extra prepared, or is it that the Highlands just don't look great right now?
I think a little bit of both. We haven't seen some great plays out of Highlands. I think their offensive line have not been able to open up holes for the running backs, and you know the throw we have seen was not great, but also the Indians' defense is doing a wonderful job just stopping Northern Highlands dead in their tracks.
You know what's also crazy? Well, it's we're at the 7-minute mark, just under right now, and we've seen the ball change hands 5 times already, Will. Would you have predicted that early on?
No, you know, I expected some longer drives out of these teams being as good as they are, but I didn't expect it to be so back and forth. Definitely surprising.
It will be a 2nd down and 2 after that quick little out route there by Highlands. They actually have not gotten a first down yet, Will, as Valley has forced 2 3-and-outs. Be interesting to see here as they are pretty close what play they decide to go with. Are they going to take a shot? Are they going to run it? We've seen them pass a lot early. It's going to be a handoff actually up the middle. Looked like almost a bit of a counter run. Good job there by Highlands as they're going to pick up the first down.
Yeah, the Indians are able to stop them, but Highlanders do just get that first down. So that is their first of the game, and they get a little bit of energy here. And it looks like this drive they are coming out strong.
Yeah, both of these teams are very evenly matched coming into this game. Both teams very evenly matched. However, that Wayne Valley defensive front, where we've talked about it this whole time, that's tough. They got a lot of seniors, a lot of big people. Richie Colonna out trying to chase the quarterback, and the quarterback is going to find a receiver. Big passing play right there for Highlands. They're going to pick up about 25 yards on that one.
Yeah, huge play for the Highlanders here, getting very close or inching their way closer to the Indians' end zone.
Not what you wanted to see right there.
Definitely not.
See, now, well, people would make the argument they should have just gone for it because Highlands in about 3 plays has already gotten right back to where they Valley punted from.
Yeah, you can never predict that.
Quarterback is going to be a play action. It looks like it was a design screen, but there's just nowhere for him to go. He's going to run out to the left, no gain on the play, and it will be a 2nd and 10 coming up here.
It looks like he lost a yard, actually.
You're right, Will. They are going to mark him at a 2nd and 11. Not what Highlands was looking for right there. But as we talked about, Will, this defense, they're so fast. They have speed. They have big men up front to stop the run. It's a hard team to face.
Yeah, hopefully this Indians defense here will be able to clutch this one out, make sure the Highlanders cannot score on this play if they want to keep that lead.
Highlands are going to hand it off to the right side. They try and get the blockers out front, but there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, great defense. It looked like as soon as Northern Highlands got past that line of scrimmage, there were about 3 guys from Wayne Valley just on him, taking him down.
Another crazy fact, Will, about this Valley defense is that they really don't have to blitz that much. They get so much pressure just generated from their linemen that they rarely blitz. They're able to drop men back in coverage, and that makes it so tough for the other teams to get anything going.
Yeah, definitely. Makes the runs a lot harder as they can't really get far at all.
Highlands takes a snap. The quarterback, he's being chased there. He stays on his feet. He's going to throw a little bump off, and that is going to be questionable. It looks like it will be ruled a first down. It is a first down. It looked like Valley was about to bring him down. Good pursuit there on that play.
Yeah, that was an incredible play by the Highlands quarterback there, and an incredible catch by the receiver, allowing them to get a first down.
Yeah, pretty crazy to see just his awareness, Will, as he was able to tell that he was being chased from the back and was able to step up and make that throw. A little bit of a high snap, but it's going to be a handoff to number 3. Looks left. He's going to cut it back up the middle. He will gain about 5 yards, it looks like. Gain of 4 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 6 coming up. Unmute me. Vertical pass right there, incomplete. Tried for it, was not able. and it will be a 3rd and 6 coming up here. Will you think they'll be aggressive with this play call, or just play it safe and try and get 3?
It is 3rd down. They might be a little aggressive. I think, Northern Highlands being as close as they are to the end zone, looking to get these points. Looking like the Indians quarterback is going to roll out and look like he's going to run. Indians will take him down after he gets the 1st down. Looks like it's going to be about 15 yards to the goal for Northern Highlands. Great run there by their quarterback.
Yeah, well, this drive for the Highlanders, they've been doing a great job of converting on 3rd down.
That was quarterback Enzo Arjona on the play.
It's going to be a handoff, and he gets a couple of yards. It will be a 2nd and 6 coming up here for the Highlanders. The Highlanders' run attack does seem to be that he likes to take it a little slower, look for the holes, kind of wait back a little bit and see what's open.
Yeah.
That can work very well if the holes are made, but if there's no holes there, he's just going to get stuffed in the backfield.
Definitely. They do like their running game here.
We have a timeout called there by Wayne Valley, as we are 7-0 here with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. We will be right back.
I was looking at the quarterback. I'm like, oh, quarterback.
They're all young.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, this guy's Zach Saturn, that's it.
Will be a 2nd and 6 coming up here. The Valley defense, they're looking to try and use this.
A few 3rd down conversions from the Highlanders this drive so far, so you have to expect them to make this conversion here.
Whether it's luck or skill, the Indians will take it, as it is now a 3rd and 6 coming up for the Highlanders. Be interesting to see what play call they choose here.
Oh yeah.
I feel like if you're the Highlanders, they might just play a little more conservative, or maybe just take a shot at the end zone.
Yeah.
No real reason to be risky. Oh my gosh. Quarterback threw it. He had number 1, Nick Holly, the tight end, open, and Holly just drops it. Tough break there for the Highlanders, as they will be forced to settle for 3.
Yeah,
he had the tight
tough.
end.
But we'll see how their special teams is doing on the extra points here, or the field goals rather. See if they can make this kick.
He had him open well. Bad break there. Andrew Haas, the sophomore, will be attempting this field goal, and the kick is good. So we now have a bit more of a ball game, as we have the Wayne Valley Indians 7, the Northern Highlanders 3. We will be right back.
You like to be right back?
I feel like I have nothing to say. That's why.
Yeah, I don't know.
Keep doing myself at a loss for words.
Yeah, I agree.
So I've been talking for 3 hours straight.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why.
I'm also like super tired. So.
This is bad. This is not common for me.
Yeah, I know. At least you love your voice. Ready?
Back deep for the Indians is number 3, Eli Lugo, and number 22, John Testa. Haas will be kicking off for the Highlanders. Good drive there right there by the Highlanders. It took a lot of time. They converted a lot on 3rd down. It didn't end the way they wanted. They still got 3. That's all you can ask for, really.
It was great. About a 70-yard drive, and they got
Haas with a big kickoff. That's fielded just in front of the goal line by number 3, Eli Lugo. He cuts it out right. He's going to cut back up to the middle. Hit hard there by number 7, and he's going to be at his own 24-yard line, where the Indians will take over.
Now the Indians here will be looking to respond to that 3 points from the Highlanders. You know, they had the big lead at the start here, so, you know, we'll see Coach Kotlar's game plan here if he wants to go big, or just as the Highlanders did last drive, do some small plays, a couple big ones here and there, and just keep getting those yards.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to note how the Indians have been playing backwards to their normal styles. They've been throwing the ball a lot and rushing it very little. Interesting to see if they keep up with that strategy or they decide to do something else.
Yeah, I think it would be nice here to see some big rushes by John Testa for the Indians. I think he could find some great gaps, as he always does, and get some yards.
Northern Highlands decides to take their first time out with 3:24 left here in the game. Valley will talk it over. Highlands will talk it over. I'm sure Highlands is going to look for a stop right here. Well, if they can force this stop, I mean, they'll really get the momentum back on their side.
Yeah, definitely. They're trying to gain control here, you know, after that early touchdown by the Indians. First quarter is coming to a close pretty soon. Not very soon, but pretty soon. And we'll see what their game plan is and why they call this timeout.
Right here for Valley, they've got to get some points on this drive. They look great on the first one. A little questionable on the second one. Now this is a drive they need to respond. They need to put points back on the board and get this game back in their favor.
I think this is a great drive to really show themselves. You know, that first one wasn't just a fluke, and this is where they really take off, I think.
The crowd appears to have quieted down a little bit for Valley, too, so they would love to get that crowd back into it after that big play to Hemming. The Indians are going to set up with 4 wide and junior John Testa in the backfield. Eli Lugo is motioned to the right. And there's a penalty before the play. It's off. It looks like it would have been a handoff to Testa, but we'll have to see what this penalty is. False start on the offense, and that is going to push them back 5 yards. It'll be a 1st and 15 coming up here for the Indians.
It's not what you like to see right out of the gate for the Indians. You know, as I said, this is really their drive here to show what they mean in this game, and that really does not set the tone well.
Definitely will. Be interesting to see if they still go with that run, as that play was going to be a handoff to Testa. It'd be interesting to see if they do that again or if they decide to pass, being that they have to start with a 1st and 15. They're going to go with the same formation, 4 wideouts. See if they motion Lugo over again. They will motion Lugo over again. Tommy Moran takes a snap. It's going to be a handoff to Testa, and he is met in the backfield. Good job there by number 55 for Highlands. Great pursuit out of him.
Yeah, this is very bad for the Indians. It is about 2nd and 20.
Yeah, a little unexpected too, Will. Usually when they give the ball to Testa, I mean, he's averaging 7 yards. When they give him the ball, they're pretty confident that he'll get something, but he was just swallowed up in the backfield.
Yeah, I think Northern Highlands just saw that run coming. Valley did a very similar play to the one they were going to do previously, and Highlands just saw Testa and took him down real early for a loss of yards.
I would expect a pass here, Will, unless they want to try some kind of a screen or something. They've got to pass. It's 2nd and 18. They're backed up on their own end zone. Got to try something. Highlands appears to be stacking the box a little bit. If Valley can get something going vertical, they might have something. They decide to run it up the middle. John Testa trucks a man. What a run there by John Testa.
Wow, beautiful run, man. Looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 1. That was incredible.
What a run there by Testa.
Wow, beautiful.
Someone tried to tackle him, and John Testa just simply said no. Yeah. Trucked the man, broke another tackle, and they're going to have a 3rd and 1 coming up here for the Indians. Exactly what they needed right there.
Yeah, I think this is great. You know, this is their game plan they've had all year, and, you know, Testa's just a truck and, you know, unstoppable force on offense.
Highlands stacking the box again as the Indians come in a bunch formation. It's going to be a toss right to Testa. Oh, a little bit of a rough tackle there at the end, but Testa does his job, picks up the 1st down. Good job there by the Indians to convert.
Yeah, this is great. You know, Testa really showing himself. You know, he's saying, yeah, you know, I know we got a lot of yards to go, but hey, I could make that run and get through it and just get these yards and make that 1st down. This has been incredible for the Indians so far after this.
Number 34, Fonseca, will check in as Testa goes to the sideline after 2 big runs. 34 is in the backfield. It's going to be a fake toss. Tommy Moran looking. Someone in pursuit. He is going to get the throw off to number 44, Benino Dorsey. Big play right there for the Indians as they pick up the 1st down.
That was an incredible play. You know, Moran didn't see the guy coming on him, but he was able to get the throw off. Beautiful catch by Dorsey, and he was able to get many yards on that play.
And that, Will, is really what separates the average quarterbacks from the best, as there was pressure all over Tommy Moran. He didn't panic at all. He got the throw off. Good job by Benino Dorsey. That's another 1st down here for the Wayne Valley Indians. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Fonseca. Breaks a tackle. Good blocking there. He's going to be met It'll be about a 2nd and 2 coming up here for the Indians.
Yeah, Matt, and this is just that Indians running game we've talked so much about. For many years, their running game has just been so strong, and you know, we see it coming out in this game. I think it's really what they need right now. They had some rough moments, but they are really taking this back, making the control in their hands.
Senior number 15, Anthony DePalma, checks in. He is definitely a goal line favorite for the Indians. And as we see a 2nd and 3 coming up here, it'll be close to see if they just try and give him a little quick out route or fade or something. It's actually going to be a handoff up the middle. And it looks like he will pick up the first down. Good job there by number 22, junior John Testa. We've talked about him a lot so far. We will continue to talk about him.
Looks like there is a penalty after the play.
Referee's making no signals yet. We will let you know when we know. Notice the pink flags that they are using in honor of breast cancer awareness, Will. Nice to see.
Yeah, it's very nice to see.
Nice touch. There's going to be a personal foul from both sides. Those penalties will offset, and it will result in a first down here for the Wayne Valley Indians.
Yeah, you know, Matt, like John Testa so far this drive has just made some incredible runs, getting the Indians most of their yards.
You know what's interesting to see, Will? Number 5, Jake DeLucia, the fullback for the Indians, who's mostly in on a lot of their offensive snaps, is actually on the sideline right now and has been for this entire drive.
Very
kind of interesting to see that they're using Benino Dorsey, number 44, a lot more than they use when they usually use DeLucia. Hopefully he's not hurt or anything.
Yeah, maybe they're also thinking, you know, Dorsey could be a little surprise for the defense. You know, they're not really sure what he could do as he hasn't got that much playing time, but clearly he is doing great.
True, Will. Number 50 will check in for the Indians, senior Frank Tortora. It will be a 2nd and 9 coming up here after that short run by Testa. He was met at the line. Interesting to see what play call the Indians will go with here. They have one man in the backfield, and they're going with that bunch formation. Hemming out to the left, Lugo and DePalma to the right, along with Benino Dorsey. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Big hole there for John Testa, and he's going to pick up the first down. Yeah. This man runs with authority.
That was a beautiful run, but I think the real highlight of that play was the Indians' offensive line created a huge, gigantic hole for John Testa to get through, and you know, he made a wonderful first down on that rush.
True, Will. I could have fit a car through that hole. Great job there for the offensive line. And you know, Will, it's good to mention them because the offensive line, the defensive line, they never really seem to get their just due. And you know, these running backs, John Testa, Elijah Lugo, they're both very talented, but without that offensive line,
yeah, they'd be nothing.
It's going to be another timeout here on the first down, and we will be right back.
It's getting better. Yeah. Well, can you see I'm talking about? Like, you know, snoring and that. That might sound weird to you. Oh, Delusion is on
Those haven't done a game in 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, definitely.
That timeout was actually because it was the end of the first quarter. So the teams will switch sides. The Indians will take over at the Highlanders' 21-yard line going the other way. They've had a pretty nice drive so far, highlighted by junior number 22, John Testa. His name will be in our mouth for most of the night. It'll be interesting to see what play call they go with here on a 1st and 10. It's going to be a fake handoff. Tommy Rand looking towards the end zone. He feels the pressure. He steps up, running to the right. And that is going to be a sack. Looks like it'll be a loss of 2 yards there, as it will be a 2nd and 12 coming up here.
Yeah, you know, Moran on that play, there were 2 guys chasing him. He was scrambling did a great job avoiding them for a while, but looked like he just could not find his option.
Yeah, and I think we'll just have to credit the Highlanders defense right there. They played great coverage. They covered all of Tommy Moran's options, and he just realized that there was nothing to go. Sometimes you just have to take the sack versus forcing a throw.
Yeah, definitely.
Indians will come out with 3 wide here. Lugo out to the left along with De Palma and Chase Hemming on the near side, with Benino Dorsey in the backfield along with Testa. It's going to be a QB draw. Moran looks for the hole. He's going to pick up a couple of hard-earned yards there. We will have a 3rd and 5 coming up here for the Indians.
Now, this is great positioning for the Indians here. You know, if this doesn't go as planned, can get that field goal.
Might be a 3rd and 6. Actually. Yeah, 3rd and 6.
Looks like 3rd and 6 here instead of 3rd and 5.
Always a little hard to see from this booth where the ball is exactly spotted well.
Yeah,
I do apologize.
No, I don't blame you, Matt. It's tough
Indians
to
are going
see.
to come out with the same formation that they just did on that last play. They've got Dorsey in the backfield along with Testa, Lugo, De Palma, and Hemming out wide. Moran takes the snap. He's looking towards Hemming. It's going to be a deep little lob there to De Palma. Oh, coverage was there. Moran looking for the flag. De Palma looking for the flag. No flag thrown, and it will be a 4th and 6 here for the Indians. Both people were looking for a flag there. Well, the ref said no. The ref was right there.
Yeah.
He had a perfect view. Guess sometimes you just don't always get it.
Yeah, but, you know, I couldn't really see it great from this angle. Looked like he was just covered pretty well from here.
Mo Gago will be on to try for this field goal, which will be a 39-yard attempt. We'll see. Oh, the field goal was blocked right there by the Highlanders. Great job by their special teams. It looks like the snap might have been fumbled. Right, what'd you see on that last play?
Yeah, I just don't think it was a great snap. You know, Mo Gago was not able to get the kickoff in time, and the Highlanders were just right there to block it. There were a few of them, actually.
Yeah, the snap was definitely muffled. Well, as you can see, the holder, DJ Pecoy, on the sideline talking to some of the coaches.
Yeah.
The 6-yard line. They're actually going with a 5-wide set here. A bit of a high snap, but number 13, the sophomore quarterback's able to handle it. He throws it out. Whoosh. What a little pass there. A little pass in the back, and number 11 just comes out running fast. That is senior Zach Saturn. He looked like pretty quick there, Will.
Yeah, that was a great job by him after that screen pass, and he was able to get a lot of yards. The Indians were not able to stop him. Great job by Jack Saturn.
Be a handoff to number 3. He's going to get about 3 yards on the play. 2nd and 7 coming up here for the Highlanders.
Now, I think it's important to note that tackle was made by senior Joe Misha. He has really done an incredible job for the Indians this year. Really come out strong on their defense.
Snap is muffed, and it is going to be recovered there by the sophomore quarterback. Snap was almost muffed, but good job of him to recover. Interesting to note, Will, on the sidelines, we see the holder, DJ Pecoy, practicing some of the snaps with someone, so hopefully they can have that figured out by the time the next field goal comes.
Yeah, it's good to note.
Seems like both snappers are having trouble tonight, as that last snap right there was just muffed by the quarterback.
And I think it's also important to know, Matt, you mentioned earlier that senior Jake DeLucia was not in the game. Looks like he is on the sideline. His jersey and shoulder pads are off, so he is injured tonight. Looking like he's not going to play.
That is not good to see, Will, as he's a big part of this team. 13 takes the snap. He's going to roll out to the left. He's looking deep. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a man wide open. Oh, and he drops the pass. Oh. Wow, that is tough. He had number 10, Will Dreyer, the junior, wide open.
Yeah.
He somehow got behind the coverage, and if that pass would have been complete, that would have been a huge gain for the Highlanders.
That's got to be really tough for Northern Highlands. He's wide open, but luckily for the Indians,
are off, and I would not expect him to return for this game.
no, I don't think so at all. We saw him on the trainer's bench a little bit earlier. Not sure what's going on with him right now.
However, number 44, Benino Dorsey, does have one catch. He has looked good, so hopefully he can continue to do that.
Yeah, he's done a great job for the Indians.
The punt is up. Pretty nice punt there. Chase Hemming's going to try and field it off the bounce. He's just going to decide to let it go now. It's a friendly bounce, and the Valley Indians will take over at their own 16-yard line. Well, just going back to that last play right there, that must be really tough for the Highlanders. You're looking for that big play. You get it. The quarterback's able to make a good throw, and the receiver just took his eye off it. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, what did you see there, Will?
I mean, of course they're looking back at that saying, oh, what if that was a touchdown? We'd have the lead. But, I mean, it's just tough. Things like that happen. Nobody's perfect. Mistakes are made. So that is just something that the Highlanders are going to have to deal with.
Yeah, the important thing to do right there is just have a quick memory and try and get a stop right here. The Highlanders can get a stop. They'll get great field position coming up. The Indians are in the bunch set. They seem to be running this a lot with John Testa in the backfield. It is going to be a toss right. Testa's able to find the hole. He hits it hard. There he goes. John Testa running up the middle. Oh, he's brought down. What a huge run there, though, for John Testa.
That was an incredible run. It looked like he got about, 45 yards on that run. Absolutely incredible job by him. He made some great cuts there, avoided some tackles.
It amazes me every time, Will, when we watch this man. He runs slow at the start, and then he just hits the hole hard. And when he hits it, you're not catching up to John Testa. Great job right there by number 22.
Yeah, he
Big run there.
Always does an incredible job when you see him out on the field. Testa, incredible player for the Indians, a very key component to their winning this season so far.
He is the heart and soul of this team. He does it on offense, he does it on defense. Great job there as we see him come off and Joe Fonseca check in. Indians back in the bunch set. It's going to be a handoff to number 3, Elijah Lugo. He's going to cut it out to the left, and he's going to have some room to run. He will pick up the first down. Just got to make sure he holds on to the ball there on the sideline. Still making moves. Oh, what a job there by Elijah Lugo.
Lugo was somehow able to stay up there. Looks like he may have got 1 or 2 more yards after he was initially hit.
Well, we see him on the far side, and all of a sudden I see this man just breaking tackles left and right.
That was incredible.
That is what Lugo does.
But wonderful play.
Really in shape. He also wrestles too, which helps him, and that just gives him great elusiveness, Will. He's able to break tackles left and right. This is just such a good, strong committee they have with John Testa and Lugo.
Yeah, the Indians running team is so incredibly strong this season.
Tommy Moran comes to the sideline talking to the coach. Doesn't seem like their play calls are really aligning. However, it's worked so far, Will, so I say if it's not broke, just keep going with it.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Look who's coming on, Will. We see number 22, John Testa.
Oh, yeah, he's back.
He's back. He's been making great plays all night for the Indians. They're in the red zone again. Be interesting to see what they're going to call here. They're in that bunch set. Northern Highlands appears to be stacked in the box. They're expecting run. The safety comes down. He's going to blitz. Testa still was able to find some room out to the right.
Looks like he was actually able to get a few yards on that.
Great job there by John
Incredible job.
Testa.
It looked to me like he was going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage, but somehow able to squeeze a few yards out of that play. You know, these are just plays that, you know, Testa is an absolutely incredible player. You don't see anyone else.
And we get hyped about it, Will, but if you watch this man play all season, it's just normal for him.
Oh, yeah.
He just normally makes moves like this.
Every single run he has, it's that good.
As it will be a 2nd and goal coming up here from the 4-yard line for the Indians. Tommy Rand takes the snap. He hands it up to John Testa, and good job right there by the Highlanders defensive front as they're able to stop him for a very short gain.
Yeah, it was a good stop. Testa got taken down hard, but once again, still able to get a yard. This puts the Indians at about 4 yards until the touchdown. It is 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what play call they go here. As if you look to the left side, you see number 15, senior Anthony DePalma. He's big, he's tall, and Tommy Rand has loved to throw to him in the
Yeah, he's
goal
got a great
line.
set of hands, too. Makes some great, crazy catches.
It is going to be another run, and that is met. Good job there by the Highlanders as they were just all over those runs by John Testa. They bent, but they were not breaking. They did a great job right there holding off. Have not seen the field goal team come out yet. It looks like the Indians might go for it here.
I mean,
they're 2 yards out.
They're so close to the goal line, and I mean, it looks like they've been trying to run Testa here just back to back.
Looks like the coach is talking to the referee. They're talking. Looks like they might let this play clock run and call a timeout here. as the Indians are stirring a little bit, and that is exactly what happened as Wayne Valley will take their second time out of the half. Well, what have you seen on this drive so far, besides, obviously, the man, the myth, the legend, John Testa?
Yeah, I mean, I just see incredible gameplay by the Indians all around. You know, this has just been a slow and steady drive. Some wonderful plays by the Indians, and, you know, Testa is definitely the star here, but once again, you got to commend the Indians' offensive line for making those holes for him to run through and just to get those yards.
Tommy Moran also has looked great so far this game. He had that one throw that wasn't a little questionable, might not have been the best decision, but besides that, he's looked great. He's hit all of his passes, and the Indians seem to be rolling right now. 7-3 right now, just under 5.5 minutes left to play. We will be right back. After the timeout, the Wayne Valley Indians are deciding to go for it, and this will be a big play right here. Well, will they get this score? Will they be able to make this a two-possession game? Highlands has done a great job on the past 2 plays stopping them. Will they be able to do it for a 3rd time in a row? The Indians will come out with 4 wide and Testa in the backfield. Tommy Moran in the shotgun. Elijah Lugo is going to be motioned to the left. They're looking to the left. Tommy Moran, he's going to throw it to Lugo. Overthrew him, and that is going to be incomplete. You know, Will, you just got to commend right there the Northern Highlands defense. They were able to get 3 stops from the goal line. They did a great job right there. Fortunately, the Indians are not able to score, and they will take over on their own 2-yard line. Yeah, I would agree with the call, though, Will. What about you?
Yeah, I think it was an all right call. You know, the Indians are still in the lead, and Coach Kotler is just, you know, as the drive has been going in the past with, you know, their consistent running plays and just gain of yards altogether, I think it was an all right play by Coach Kotler.
The one thing you got to watch out for here, Will, Indians might bring pressure. They better not let that vertical pass happen. It is actually going to be a handoff, and that play is going to go nowhere. He will gain about 2 yards, maybe, as they're still within their own 5-yard line. 2nd down coming up here. It will be a 2nd and 8 coming up here for Highlands. You just got to watch out for that vertical pass, Will. They got 1 receiver out wide. They're looking his way. Quarterback's going to throw it deep. Oh, we got flags coming from 2 referees. And I got a feeling this does not bode well here for the Indians.
No, I agree with that, Matt. You know, obviously we see that the Northern Highlands receiver was not able to get there. Most likely pass interference on the Indians.
Yeah, that was Tommy Moran in coverage. It's going to be a holding on the Indians, actually. And that will give them a 1st down. Tough call right there. Tough break for the Indians. As it did not really look like he needed to hold him there. Well, he was doing a good job in coverage, and that ball was overthrown too, so it's tough.
Yeah, you know, that is a tough play for the Indians, but you got to deal with it and just, you know, play the next one better.
Highlands motion someone's out to the left. It's going to be a little receiver screen, and we do have a penalty flag. That was number 11 on the catch right there for Highlands, Zach Saturn. He's big, he's quick, but we do have a penalty on the play that was called early on. Might be a hold on Highlands. We will wait and let you know as we know. Referee's talking about it. There's going to be an illegal shift penalty right there on the Highlanders.
Interesting to see.
That will be 1st and 15, as it is a 5-yard penalty. They will redo 1st down. Definitely expect a pass right here, Will.
I agree with that.
Pretty shocked if they didn't. Highlanders talking it over on the sideline. Number 1 and number 13, their quarterback and receiver. Interesting to see what kind of play call they go with here. Maybe a screen. Screen might be a good idea. they do seem to like to go vertical and get those big passing plays. And Valley does have De Palma and Gega back deep, but they're looking to the right side. The quarterback, he's getting good job by his offensive line, but good tackle there. Wow, what a job.
Great play by
Number
the
44, Benino Dorsey. Big hit there on the play.
Yeah, Matt, this is really great to see Dorsey coming out here, taking the spot of DeLucia, who has really been a star player for the Indians, and Dorsey has just filled those shoes perfectly, making some incredible plays.
It's all you can ask for, well, out of him. He's a senior, he works hard, great kid. Nice to see him doing well and get his opportunity.
Yeah.
It will be a 2nd and 14 coming up here. The Highlanders actually did do a good job there, their offensive line. They bought a lot of time for the quarterback. However, Dorsey just had great pursuit and was able to go get him. Highlanders have 5 wide. They're going to throw it to number 11 senior Zach Saturn, who just gets up the middle quickly. Going to gain, I would say, around 10 yards.
Yeah,
and
it
is
like
going to be about a 3rd and 5 coming up here. Nice tackle on the play by number 22, John Testa. Have you mentioned him yet this night, Will?
No, I don't think so.
He's just all over the field.
Oh, yeah.
Big player there.
All around incredible player for the Indians. Key asset. This is a very big play for the Highlanders. If the Indians are able to stop them here, it's going to be a punt and a little shift in possession.
And that'll also be big because there's only we're coming down to about 3 minutes left here in the second half, so the Indians might be able to get another score on the board and go up 2 possessions. Play action play. The pressure's coming. Quarterback steps up. He's going to throw it deep. 23 looking for a call, no play. It looked like that ball was too far to even be catchable to even call a penalty.
Yeah, I
remember, Will, the ball has to be somewhat close for the receiver to be able to make a play.
Yes, definitely. It's got to be catchable. You know, I think these long, deep throws we have seen from Northern Highlands have all been overthrown, and that's really interesting to see here. I don't know if it is, you know, the wide receiver's just not running as hard, or if he's just having an off night, the quarterback.
Yeah, the tough thing for them, too, is that the one ball that wasn't overthrown to number 10, he dropped it, and that would have been a big play for the Highlanders. That would have almost guaranteed them 3 points.
Yeah.
Instead, the Indians are going to get this ball with just under 3 minutes left, and they're just going to try and get 3 points on the board and make this 2-possession game. Highlanders to punt. Hemming and Lugo back deep for the Indians. They are right about the 50-yard line. Punter has looked pretty good here for Highlands, so it'll be interesting to see what they're going to call. Bit of a high snap, but he gets it. High punt, lands at about the 50-yard line, gets a friendly bounce, going to go out of bounds. The Indians will take over at their own 46-yard line. So, Will, if you're the Indians here, you're looking for 7, you're looking for 3. What's the plan right now?
I think you're looking for anything you can get. With the second quarter coming to a close here and halftime coming up, I think it's just important to try to make the best drive they could get here and just score any amount of points and just make it at least a 1-touchdown game here. Well, you know, it is a 1-touchdown game, but, you know, widen that gap in the score a little bit.
Will, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm just seeing here on the sideline as Jake DeLucia is putting his pads inside of his helmet. It looks like he might be done for the rest of the night, Will.
Yeah, I think he definitely is. You know, still not sure what happened to him, but he's out of the game.
If we find out, we'll definitely let you guys know. The Indians have 3 wide. John Testa on the sideline. It's going to be a handoff to number 34, Joseph Fonseca, who is met at the line of scrimmage. It will be a 2nd and 12 coming up here. This Highlanders defensive front has actually looked pretty good, aside from when John Testa has been in the field, of course.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Testa just somehow gets through it all. But, yes, the Highlanders defense has been very good. They've provided some great pass coverage on the Indians.
The Indians are in that famous bunch formation that they love to run with 1 running back deep. That, of course, is John Testa. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a run right here. It's going to be a toss to the right. Testa broke this out wide last time. There is a flag in the backfield. Might be a holding call. And he is going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Another good job there by that defensive front for Highlands.
Yeah,
we seem to keep talking about the Valley side, but Highlands looks good too.
Yeah, I think Highlands might be figuring out Valley here, getting their number. Looking like they have done a great job stopping them recently. So we'll see how this pans out because, you know, this could be a big deal in this game. Shutting down Valley's running game is huge.
Yeah, that was a holding call right there on the Indians, and that is going to push them back 10 yards. This will be a 2nd and long coming up. 2nd and about 17.
Yeah, 2nd and 24, Matt. Matt, do you see the first down mark? It's a little further up.
Oh, I was looking at the
Yeah.
scrimmage.
2nd and 1.
5 wide right here for the Indians as they're going to motion John Testa out to the right. Tommy Moran was looking that way, but there is a flag before the play is able to be snapped.
Yeah.
It's going to be a false start on the Indians, and that is going to push this back to a second and 30.
This is really not good for the Indians. They're going to need an incredible play here to do anything with this drive, or at least just move the ball up the field a little bit. So
yeah, well, I think if you're the Indians right now, they might just want to keep the ball on the ground, maybe make Highlands waste their timeouts. And
yeah, I agree. It's not looking good for them this drive.
not what the Indians had in mind when they got the ball back with 3 minutes left.
No, not at all. It's just a little bit of sloppy gameplay. You hate to see it.
Yeah, they've
Really
only gone
do.
backwards. It'd be interesting to see. I think you're right, though, that Highlands does appear to be figuring out this offense a little bit. The Indians might want to try and open up that playbook a little bit. Whatever they got in store, get some other people involved. We know Dorsey's going to motion back in. Tommy Rand's rolling out to the right. He's looking for number 3. He's going to throw it deep to Palma. Oh, what a play! What a catch by Anthony DePalma. You wanted a big play, Will. You got a big play.
That was incredible. DePalma has incredible hands for the Indians. We have seen some stellar catches out of him this year so far, and that was no different. Incredible job. It looks like that is going to be a first down.
That was a 30-yard pass right there. Tommy Rand knows he gives Anthony DePalma a chance. He's coming down with that ball. What a big catch right there.
That was incredible. That's really what the Indians need right now.
That
Unexpected.
completely changes the drive, Will, as the Indians are now hurrying up and starting to think about maybe getting back into field goal range, as they were just looking at running the ball.
Yeah,
Tommy
what a
Rand
play.
rolling out to the left right here. Highlands is coming. Tried to hit number 11, Mo Gage. He's unable to, unfortunately. And it will be a second down coming up here for the Indians.
Yeah, Matt, we've just seen, Valley's energy gone from, really not great to incredible this drive so far. A couple early penalties, but, they took it back, and now it is 2nd and 10, and they are looking for some points here.
What a job right there by Anthony DePalma. He just looks great. Mo Gage is going to come out after that play. If you see on the far side, you can see Anthony DePalma. Tommy Moran motioning Elijah Lugo to the other side as they have 4 wide. Testa in the backfield. No deep safeties here for Highlands. Might see a big vertical play right now. Looks like Tommy Moran's looking that way. It was going to be a screen. Oh, that was a tough pass.
I'm not sure who Moran was throwing to. There were about 4 guys in a pretty tight area there. Testa tried to catch it, but
looked like he was trying to find Testa, but he also was setting him up for a big hit if he would have caught that.
Yeah. It's not been, the best drive for the Indians, minus that one play by DePalma. Incredible job. It is 3rd and 10, so we'll see what the Indians are able to do here.
Yeah, they have a minute left, Will.
Yeah, either way, they'll be able to get off a good punt here. So.
A minute left with 1 timeout, so it'll be interesting to see if they're just going to keep it on the ground, make Highlands waste a timeout, or if they're going to go for a first. We see Hemming on the near side. On the far side, I see DePalma, James Junn, and Elijah Lugo with Testa in the backfield, Moran in the shotgun. Highlands does appear to be dropping back in coverage. They're only going to rush 4. Moran's got a little bit of time. He's looking. Good job. Good coverage. Oh, number 3, Lugo's calling for the ball. Tries for a little dump off to John Testa, incomplete, and it is going to be 4th down.
Yeah, Matt, I'm really not sure what happened on that play. Moran had so much time. His offensive line was providing great stoppage for him, but looks like, once again, we saw that in a play earlier in the game. Was just not able to find his man. That's going to be 4th down. Indians.
Yeah, we always love to compliment the Indians' defensive line, but those same guys play on the offensive line as it's high school, and they do a great job giving Moran a lot of time on that play. Just good coverage right there by Highlands, who will take over with under a minute left and be backed up pretty close to their own end zone. Gage get a punt. It's a big punt. Fielded at the 10. It's muffed up. Not sure who has it right now, but that ball was muffed if the Indians have it. James Junn is pointing at the Indians have it. No call yet. And the refs are going to say that Highlands recovered it. Oh, that could have been a big break right there.
Yeah, that could have been huge, putting them on the 10-yard line, but not quite. Northern Highlands was somehow able to get that ball in their possession in that pile-up.
As you mentioned before, Will, this game seemed to be looking great early on, but now it's turned a little bit sloppy. We've had a couple of drops. We've had a couple of missed receivers.
Yeah, we've seen it by both teams. It's
Doesn't look good right now.
They might just be, a little pressured here. You got to remember they're both going in here knowing this is a big game, and I think that pressure might be getting to them.
Highlands is going with 3 wide, looking to the right side. Oh, number 22 with a double move. He's got him open, and he hits him. He's going to be down. Nice double move right there on the sideline, number 23. I saw it the whole time, Will. You could tell the quarterback was eyeing him down. It would have been nice if Valley's coverage could have made a play right there. Unfortunately, they were unable to. We're going to have a timeout called here by Highlands. They have 1 remaining after this. 7-3 right now. We will be right back.
That quarterback was eyeing him the whole time.
Yeah.
My neck hurts. I'm not doing good now. You see Jake? What? You see Jake?
Do I see Jake? I know he's here. I saw him earlier.
Delucia.
Oh. I was talking about announcing. I met Jake.
I don't even see him on the sideline.
No, I don't know. Interesting. All right. Oh, he's just running off the field. I don't know what he's doing.
It looks like he's limping.
Maybe.
We are back as Northern Highlands has 42 seconds left and 1 timeout. Looking to try and put 3 points on the board and make this a 1-point game. Takes a snap, number 13 with a deep drop. Steps up in the pocket as the pocket collapses. Tries to make a move on Benino Dorsey, is unable to. Good tackle right there.
Yeah, Dorsey, the quarterback was not able to trick him. He saw it through. Incredible tackle there. And I think a little bit of that comes from Dorsey's experience in wrestling. He read the man well and, just did not let him get past.
Yeah, Highlands will definitely be looking to score, especially because the Indians received the second half kickoff, so they would love to score. They throw it to number 11, Zach Saturn. He's going to get vertical. He makes one man miss, and he's going to be down at about the 42-yard line as Highlands is forced to call their last timeout with 9 seconds left. Well, what do they have to do right now to get into field goal range?
This is tough for Highlands. There are only 9 seconds left on the clock. They really need something good here, and, I think a throw or a run that goes out of bounds really quickly so they have a little bit of time here to react.
Yeah, what seems like what they're going to have to do is either throw some kind of a corner or an out route, get about 10 yards up, and have that man go out of bounds. And the quarterback has to have a little clock in his head, so he's got to be thinking at about 4 or 5 seconds he needs to get that ball released.
Yeah.
Try and throw that quick little out route, get out of bounds quickly, have about 3 or 2 seconds left, and just kick that field goal through. Not too sure how the Highlands kicker has done this year, Andrew Haas, but it looks like we might be able to see how big his leg is right here.
Yeah, definitely.
At least that's the goal here.
Yeah, as you said, the Northern Highlands quarterback here is going to have to react quick and just make that throw or whatever he has to do.
Looking deep. It's actually going to be a Hail Mary. They're not going to go for that quick little out route. Steps up in the pocket. There is a penalty in the back. He throws it up. Picked off, but there was a penalty on the play. We will have to wait and see what that flag was. It is a touchback. Depending on what this penalty is, it is going to be a holding on the offense. Penalty is declined. That is the end here of the first half as the Wayne Valley Indians are up 7-3. Will, what are some takeaways from that first half?
Matt, it's tough because, we saw the Indians, right off the bat with that huge momentum gain, getting that touchdown, but we have seen maybe a little bit of the pressure getting to both teams and some sloppy gameplay. It's tough to watch in some moments, but, once again, there are multiple plays for both teams that really shine and stand out. They've done an incredible job even with those sloppy times.
Yeah, it would appear that Northern Highlands might have figured Valley out. Both teams will have a lot to talk about here at halftime.
Actually, it increased.
This will be the end of our broadcast for a little bit, and we will come back at the start of the second half where the Indians will receive the kick. For now, we'll be back. It is 7-3 Wayne Valley.
Honest man, I like it. Mark?
All right, I'm out of here. I gotta stand up.
Shepard?
You guys are doing amazing.
All right, thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now. Tonight's winner of the Super 50-50. His next winning prize is $3,140. Tonight's winner
This is an interesting day.
is Mark Shepard. Mark Shepard. And you can hear my voice, you're going to get 2 winners. That's going to use a vote in the second and collect the beginning. Again, congratulations, 4-7. Tonight's winners in the Super 50-50.
So here comes the other thing. You better finish
How good we sound.
2-1-2 now because
Oh, he better show up.
he doesn't have to be present. No. Yeah, that's why they asked for a full address.
Oh, okay.
And now we're going for your halftime entertainment. Please welcome the Highlanders players.
I'm not counting.
Don't they look like they were surprised? Dude, that was the best line ever. Give me up for that one. That was awesome.
You want to watch the cheer, then we'll go? You want to watch the cheerleaders? I got it.
Anthony! I have a friend, Anthony.
go?
I'm probably not going to stay for the game.
No, because they have to do the announcing. It's on TV. Okay?
We're still playing. My mom said.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the game from down there. Thank you very much. Bye. Okay, guys, let's go. So far, so good.
I'm good, thank you.
Hey, you lasted better than her phone.
I literally held that thing together. Thanks.
Hi, how are you? Good. Hi. Oh, I can't. Weather like this in October for football? It's good. Not my winter coat.
How are you feeling?
I'm good. I haven't seen your show yet. I'm looking forward to it.
You look great. Those pictures were beautiful.
Is it? Like new uniforms too.
Yeah, I knew that 30 years ago. But listen, it's my quarterback. I can't, you know.
No, did you hear? He was the center.
I can't do anything.
Center. You can turn on your quarterback. It's okay.
No.
How's everything going? Good.
Okay. Fun 12 days. Well, it doesn't. this morning. Like I looked, it was 7:45 that morning. I remember 11 o'clock. It was 7:45, and then I woke up. My wife and my brother were there, and I'm like, yeah. He goes, you know what time it is? I'm like, no, it's 7:45. You know, so I was out like 10 hours, so an hour. So, you know, I got like moved at 3 o'clock in the morning, up to rooms, and I was okay. I mean, it's like entire core, like they were put a pump in, what they like. So, no, it's better. It was like your whole everything was just whatever. And then I was like okay for about 2-3 days, and then I might have went prep. Like I went two down, and it's like like, and I keep telling him, I said, you go in there. I said, the hospital's no place to get rest. No place to rest. It's the most uncomfortable bed in the world. I couldn't get comfortable. Every time I got semi-comfortable.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, the Ringway High School Marching Band.
Yeah, like, you know, I get comfortable in my bed, you know, I'd sit up, I'd get comfortable, and then like, mattress stain, I'd slide down, I'd up, and then I'd start going to sleep, and yeah, like, oh, you're ready to take one, oh, you're taking one first, oh, you're like, outside, like, do not come in here at 2 a.m. Hard, like seats like this, and I'm like, why did they do that? I'm not doing it. I said it right now. Somebody said it right now. Listen, I don't think the doctors are looking out. If I was in Hackensack, I might have pulled it off.
He's been through a lot.
Or see if I can with
And welcome back, everybody. We are back here at Wayne Valley Stadium as we have the Wayne Valley Indians up right now. They are winning 7-3. Halftime was pretty good for Will and I as we were able to catch up with his brother, former star quarterback for Wayne Valley, Ryan Ricardo Michaels.
Yeah, Ryan
Great to
Ricardo
see him.
Money Michaels, actually.
Yes, always great to see him, caught up with him. Big influence on this Wayne Valley team. He was a big part of it when he was here. Always a great player, always fun to talk to.
Oh, yeah,
Anyway,
definitely.
Will, what did you see in that first half?
You know, Matt, as I said before, it's a little rough by both teams. I mean, they have really tried their best, but, you know, we do see some sloppy plays from both sides, not just like one player in particular, but, you know, multiple positions, and sometimes it's tough to watch. But, I mean, hopefully, you know, for the sake of the game, that during halftime, there were some words said, and you know they'll get their heads back in the game here and just see how it goes.
And unfortunately, the news is not good for Jake DeLucia as we see him walking on the sideline right now. He is in a sweatshirt, so that will be it for him tonight. He will not be returning for the game.
Yeah, I heard a possible rumor might be his shoulder, might be his back. You know, we're still not sure yet. It's not a visible injury, of course. You know, he's not looking to be in a crazy amount of pain or anything. He's just not playing.
Yeah, it might even be his hip, we've heard too. Not 100% sure, but we do wish him a
It could
speedy
be anything
recovery.
at this point. We have no idea.
He's a big part of this team, but it's been nice to see number 44, senior Benino Dorsey, step up for the Indians.
Definitely. You
He
love
had a
to see
big
him.
catch and been doing great on the blocking.
Yeah, you know, Benino's a wonderful kid. You know, he's on the football team, on the wrestling team too. Smart kid in AP Physics C also. So it's good to see a nice guy like him out on the field making some big plays.
Definitely will. Well, we saw John Testa have a huge half. What do you expect to see from him in the second half, along with Elijah Lugo?
I mean, Testa's running game so far has been incredible, along with Lugo, and I hope, I think that Coach Roger Kotlar is going to come out here with a similar running game plan. You know, we have seen Northern Highlands defense has gotten Valley's number a little bit, so they have stopped them in some regard, but I still think that Valley running game is so incredibly strong. And if they just keep that up, it's going to be great. And, you know, we've seen some great passes out of senior quarterback Tommy Moran also. So if he keeps that up, along with the running game, I think we should see a win for Wayne Valley here. But, you know, once again, we don't know what Northern Highlands is coming out with after this halftime, if they change up their game plan at all. Because, remember, they are down.
Yeah, and it looked like they might have even been figuring out Valley at the end as their offense kind of seemed to stall a little bit. So hopefully they've got something new up their sleeve. They seemed to look good and have their best performance in the beginning when they were actually throwing and running play actions and stuff. That seemed to work the best. However, Testa did have some big runs, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here. Expect them to look for their big playmakers. That's John Testa, that's Anthony DePalma, and that's, of course, the senior quarterback, Tommy Moran. DePalma did have a big catch, and expect more of the same from this defensive line, which was also very big and very tough. As far as Northern Highlands goes, they're probably going to stick with that same vertical concept. It seems to have worked. They've missed a couple of times, but if they can connect, that's huge for them. So I would expect them to do more of the same, as it seems like they're really close. And if you're Valley, they might want to be dropping a couple guys further back into coverage to stop those big vertical plays. Both teams, I'm sure, talked a lot during the halftime. We are back as Haas is ready to kick off for the Highlanders. Back deep for the Indians is number 22, junior John Testa, and number 3, senior Elijah Lugo. The kick is off, and it's going to be a squib kick. They're going to try and keep it away from them. Fielded at the 20 by Joseph Fonseca, the junior. Tries to cut up right. He's going to run into someone, and he will be tackled at the Valley 32-yard line. Little pushing and shoving at the end, nothing too big, and the Indians will take over.
Yeah, you know, Matt, it should be interesting to see what the immediate game plan is here out of the offense here for the Indians and what Coach Kotlars is looking to pull off here.
Definitely will. I couldn't agree more with you. Be interesting to see what kind of approach they'll take. They seem to be big on these opening drives as they scored on the opening drive of the game. We'll see what they can do here. They're in that bunch formation that they love to run with John Testa in the backfield. They've run a couple of runs out of it. It's going to be a handoff to Testa. Testa bounces off to the right and is unfortunately met at the line of scrimmage, not able to go anywhere. And that will be a 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Indians.
Yeah, you know, Matt, that play looked like a little bit of what we were saying before this start of the second half here. Northern Highlands having Valley's number and, you know, could have some tough plays here. You know, Testa was stopped there pretty early, which is very unusual for him.
2nd and 11 coming up here, Will, and the Indians will once again be back in the bunch formation. They have Gega and De Palma out wide to the right. It is going to be a toss to John Testa, looking for some room. He gets a couple of good blocks, able to cut back up to the middle.
Looks like that'll be 3rd and 5 for the Indians.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they're going to run it again, if they'll go with a pass here. More pushing and shoving at the end of that play. I saw number 1 involved for the Highlands and number 11, Mo Gega, senior, for the Indians. We'll have to see how that plays out here in the second half. Can't be afforded any penalties of unsportsmanlike conduct.
No, not at all. Not for either team. You know, with a game this close, you know, you don't want to see that right now.
Valley once again in that same formation, that bunch set. They've ran a ton of different plays out of here. Be interesting to see what they go with. Highlands has 1 deep safety. Might be a cover 1. It's going to be a fake toss. Highlands is all over it. Tommy Rand's going to throw it up. Nearly picked off by number 1. The intended receiver there appeared to be number 1, James Junn, for the Indians, and it will be a 4th and 5. Valley will be forced to punt.
Yeah, that was a tough play for the Indians. You know, we saw Moran scramble there. It looked like the offensive line gave in a little too early, and he was not able to, you know, get a nice throw off in time. So that's tough.
For the Highlanders, this is their first 3 and out. It'll be interesting to see if they'll be able to capitalize on that as their defense steps up and makes a play. And we see Ricky Ruggiero coming on the snap. The normal long snapper is number 5, Jake DeLucia. But DeLucia is out of the game, so they're going to have Ricky Ruggiero do it. The punt was almost blocked, but Mo Gega is going to end up getting a very friendly bounce as that ball rolls along the sideline. It will go out at the 25-yard line where the Highlanders will take over.
Yeah, you're right there, Matt. Friendly bounce. You know, the ball hit the ground a little early, but it stayed in bounds and got a few more yards. That is very good for the Indians. Put in the Highlanders in not great field position here, but you know, we'll see how this Wayne Valley defense plays coming out of halftime.
Yeah,
they can still keep up that dominating force that they have.
A little close on that last play, Will. Thought it might have gotten blocked, but luckily he was able to get it out. And nice little punt there for Gega. Seems to be a trend in high school that they go with those little squib kicks and get the friendly bounce.
Yeah.
Anyway, here for the Highlanders, they take the snap. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and he has a lot of room to go there for number 3. He's going to pick up about 9 yards on the play, and it will be a 2nd and short coming up here for the Highlanders. Haven't seen the running game been too strong yet this game, Will, but maybe they're going to try something new here in the second half. Highlanders are going to go with a 4-wide set with 1 person in the back. It's going to be a fake handoff. Number 13 rolling out to the right. He's looking at 23. He's going to be covered. Decides to go, tries for the check down. That play was pretty covered. Did not look like it would have been a good pass right there. Good stop by number 40, Joe Misha. And it will be a 3rd and short coming up here. I would expect a run right here, Will.
Yeah, I think the Highlanders here just get that, you know, quick run, you know, up the middle or whatever they need to do.
Especially after that questionable pass right there on the last play.
Yeah, that was rough. So I think the run is the best option for them right now.
Interesting to see what the Wayne Valley defense dials up here. It's going to be a handoff to number 3. He's going to jump over someone. It looks like he does have the first down. As he does, and that will be a first down for the Northern Highlands Highlanders. Number 3, Ethan Harris, is really their workhorse, the bell cow. whatever you want to say it. He seems to get all the carries for the Highlanders.
Yeah, definitely. You know, he is a bit of a force for the Highlanders. Tough to stop like that there, and he is able to push through and get that first down, which is great for the Highlanders.
I might expect a play action right here, Will. The Highlanders seem to be running it a lot here in the second half. Indians might want to bite on that, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it. It's going to be an option. It didn't look like an RPO. He's looking for 23. Big hit on the play there for the Indians. Nice job there by number 44, Benino Dorsey.
Benino Dorsey came out of nowhere there. The quarterback did not see him and just took him down. Incredible play from Dorsey. We've seen a lot of that tonight. It's great to see him out there playing as incredibly as he is.
Yeah, nice to see someone step up for Jake DeLucia.
Yeah.
Be a 2nd and 11 here for the Highlanders. They listened to me and they ran a play action. Be interesting to see what they'll do here. QB draw. He's going to go up the middle. Big hole right there. He's going to cut it out to the right. Smart cut right there. Bounces off one tackle. Brought down there by Richie Colonna, number 87. But, however, he is going to pick up the first down. That was about a 20-yard run right there. Great play calls. The Indians were not expecting that. QB hasn't ran it too much tonight, and he was able to catch the Indians napping right there. There'll be a 1st and 10 coming up here as the Highlanders go with 3 wide. Going to shift the formation to the other side. They got someone in motion. That's number 11. They're going to hand it off to him. He's pretty quick, able to break some tackles. He bounces off one tackle and is going to be brought down on the sideline by Mo Gega. Number 11, Zach Saturn, has looked really good so far for the Highlanders. He's quick and he's able to break a lot of tackles. Well.
Yeah, Saturn is a big guy. He just pushes through those defensemen and really gets those yards.
Nice to see out of him. Hopefully the Indians will be able to find someone that can stop him. Indians are going to go with 2 deep safeties on this play. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to number 3. We've seen him all night, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. Great job right there by that Indians defensive front.
Agreed. Good line.
It'll be a 2nd and long coming up here for the Highlanders. Their run does not seem to be working so far. They've got to try something else here, Will.
Yeah, I agree with that call, Matt. You know, I think this Indians defense is still doing very well, stopping that run, and Northern Highlands is going to have to do something big.
Rolling out to the right, the quarterback is. He's looking deep for number 23. He's going to get it off. Oh, and what a nice catch right there. Eli Lugo was in coverage, but 23 just has about 5 inches on him, and there's just nothing that he could do right there.
Yeah, that was a great catch by Northern Highlands.
However, Will, we missed that there was a penalty in the back.
Wow.
It's going to be a holding call, and that play is going to come all the way back.
Wow, that is huge for the Indians, Matt. You know, reminds me earlier that drop pass by Northern Highlands. You know, it's an incredible play, but you know, there's just something that happens and it just doesn't pan out. So
yeah, not what the Highlanders were looking for. They have this vertical passing concept that works. They're just shooting themselves in the foot. Well, they're missing passes. They're dropping the ball. Now they're getting untimely and costly penalties. Can't do that well.
I mean, that was going to be a touchdown for Highlands. You got to expect that. So I mean, the Indians got to be breathing a sigh of relief right now, and that ball was pushed back.
This reminds me of the Wayne Valley-Wayne Hills game, in which it was a very low-scoring contest with both teams making mistakes. Be interesting to see what happens. Third team's going to throw it across the middle. That was batted down, still almost able to make the catch right there by the tight end Nick Holly. However, it will drop, and it will be a 3rd and 22 coming up here for the Highlanders. And the big linemen are going to check out for Valley as they're going to bring in a couple of defensive backs, can hopefully drop back in coverage and stop them.
Yeah, the Highlanders probably looking for a big throw here to get that first down. You know, they are many, many yards back from that marker.
Well, the players to watch here is number 23, Charlie Cheney, and number 11, Zach Saturn. Those have been the favorite targets so far for the quarterback. Definitely can guarantee you he'll be looking their way. The pocket collapses, and a big hit on the play by number 25, Michael Canabianco. What a play right there.
Yeah, that was an incredible sack, pushing Northern Highlands back even further than they were. And, you know, once again, when this punt comes off by Northern Highlands, as we should expect, going to put Indians in a little better field position. So great play there.
This kid just seems to come in and is electric. Well, we saw him in that Indian Hills game, and he was making plays all over the place. He just checked in right there on that play and makes a big hit.
It is great to see that. You know, Valley, you know, their players really go deep, and they just have so many resources at their disposal to make what they want happen.
That's what I said when he hit him.
Chase Hemming is back at around the 20-yard line for the Indians.
Imagine that one, 3rd and 22.
Here comes the punt. It's going to be a fair catch called by Hemming. He will receive it at the 25-yard line, which is exactly where Tommy Moran and the Indians will take over. What have you seen so far, Will, in the second half?
Well, you know, Matt, we see a little more of that sloppy play that we were talking about. So by Northern Highlands specifically, it'll be interesting to see what the Indians do here. Hopefully get some rushing yards, but, as I've said, Northern Highlands has stopped that pretty well, so they might be looking for some more throws, maybe some short passes to get those yards.
Yeah, Coach Roger Cutlar's probably got 1 or 2 plays up his sleeve. Might be the time to employ them, try and get a big gain right here. The Indians will go with 3 wideouts to the right, Testa in the backfield, and an extra tight end on the line. Moran takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Testa. Had a couple of holes. He chose to go through one. He's going to gain about 6 yards on that play, and it will be a 2nd and 4 coming up here for the Indians.
Great run by him. He saw that opportunity and was able to get through, make the most out of that. Beautiful play.
Mo Gega checks in for Benino Dorsey, so look for some kind of a pass here. Maybe they're going to try and take a shot right here, 2nd and 4. We'll have to wait and see. Testa will be in the backfield, and the Indians will go with 3 wide, along with Steven Simonetti on the outside. Big senior. Tommy Moran takes the snap. It's going to be another handoff to Testa. He's able to break out of that first tackle, but he's going to be stopped just short of the first down. It will be a 3rd and 1 coming up here.
Yeah, it looked like he got hit early there, but, tough force to take down Testa. He is unstoppable at times.
Yeah, Testa just bounces off of tackles. The Indians are going to go with no huddle right here, maybe try and catch the Highlanders napping. Interesting to see. Tommy Moran's just going to sneak it up the middle, and he is going to pick up the first down. So a nice play call right there by Coach Roger Cutlar's.
Yeah, great job.
And the Indians will have a first down.
This is great. They're moving the ball slowly, but they are moving that ball, and that's what matters right now. They are looking to expand the gap between the scores here for Valley and the Highlanders.
Yeah, well, and it seems that we've seen it in football nowadays that the QB sneak has become much more popular than it once was. Why do you think that is?
I just think it's such a good resource, but we see it a little more in teams like Wayne Valley where the offensive line is so strong that they are just able to really block good for the quarterback and make sure he's able to get a yard or 2.
That's true, Will. It's just pure power right there. The Indians are going to flip their formation and go with 3 wideouts. They're going to hand it off. Oh, it's going to be a play action, actually. Nice fake. He got me. Hands it to Chase Hemming. Chase Hemming's going to stiff arm one man, pick up about 13 yards on that pass, and it will be a first down.
Great play by Hemming there. Like I just said, moving the ball slowly, but there are plays like that in the Indians' arsenal that are just able to get a first down quickly, and that is what they need right now. Beautiful. Keep that energy level high and make sure they have this momentum in order to score some points here on this drive.
Yeah, the Indians seem to be on the same formation with 3 wideouts to one side and an extra tight end at the line. It seems to be working now. Tommy Moran will take it. He's going to hand it off to Testa. Testa's going to spin off one tackle, try and break it to another one, and it will be a 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Indians. No gain on that play by Testa. Number 44, Benino Dorsey's going to check in as Mo Gega comes out. Maybe they'll be changing up the formation. Well, it's been a nice long drive here for the Indians. Hopefully they can capitalize as they're getting into that territory where you normally do.
Yeah, I hope so. They put a lot of time and effort into this, so it would be nice to see some points scored out of them for this.
Tommy Moran takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to John Testa. Testa goes up the middle and is just denied. Nice play there for the Highlanders by number 66. Big defensive tackle.
Yeah, what I've seen so far in this half, Matt, is that whenever the Indians try to run up the middle, they are getting stopped, but the play keeps being called. Collars might be thinking here that the Highlanders are going to change it up a little bit, not expect the same thing, but they are being stopped, so we might need another throw here or a run wide.
Tommy Moran does not seem to be happy with the play calls that he's getting. It looks like they're going to change it now as he's getting a different play call. Whatever he calls, well, hopefully it'll get them 8 yards for the first down.
Yeah, definitely.
The Indians are going to come out with 4 wide and Testa in the backfield. One-on-one coverage on the near side with Chase Hemming. Be interesting to see how that plays out. It's going to be a fake handoff. Tommy Moran, oh, what a pursuit by number 7 for the Highlanders. He went unblocked off the edge. Not a good job there by the offensive line as that man just came unblocked and got to Moran. And the Indians are going to be forced to punt right here. Not the result they were looking for on that drive, Will.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see. Tommy Moran got rocked in the backfield, and this is going to force a punt for the Indians.
Yeah, good job right there by the Highlanders. Whatever they called, they were able to get a seems like they got a little bit of pressure, and Tom Naran's first read was not there. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, it looks like the Indians players are a little frustrated after that drive. Not the result that they were looking for right there. Carlos Mogega will get the ball. He's going to punt it. Oh, and that punt's blocked. That punt's blocked. We had a feeling that was going to happen, Will.
This is not looking good for the Indians right now with the sack, and then the blocked punt puts the Highlanders on the Indians' 35-yard line. This is not looking good.
Yeah, well, the Highlanders have just looked great on special teams so far. They came close to blocking a punt before. This time they got to it. And for the Indians right now, they need someone to make a big play. Someone's got to step up right now and make a huge play.
Oh, yeah.
They need a kind of spark right now. Their sideline just seems to be a little restless, and Highlanders, they shouldn't be leaving the Highlanders in this game right now. You know what I mean, Will? It can never turn out good.
You know, the Indians here just got to get it together. There's
still going to be a handoff to Zach. Oh, what a play right there by John Testa.
You called for a big play, and Testa delivered. You know, this kid never fails the Indians. What an incredible sack for him. Right out of the gate, he was sprinting at the quarterback, took him down early.
Yeah, well, he was all over that play. He just read it perfectly, and great job right there by John Testa. That's what they needed. The Indians needed a little bit of a spark. Let's see what they can do here now. As the Highlanders are forced to have a 2nd and long, they're going to probably have to throw right here. Maybe the Indians can come up with a pick or something.
Yeah, that would be
on the near side, we see Robert Schneider. He had a pick in that Hills game that I was talking about before. Pressure is coming. The throw is off, and it's going to be caught. Beautiful throw right there. Beautiful catch by number 23.
Northern Highlands quarterback was going down, but somehow that was miraculous. He was able to pull off that throw, and it was complete. Now,
yeah, that looked like a patented throw right there from Ryan Money Michaels, a quarterback for the Indians last year.
That was great. This does put the Northern Highlands in the Indians' red zone.
Yeah, it'll be a first down coming up right here. They're going to decide to hand it off up the middle. Spins off of one tackle, and then is met by Robert Schneider. Good tackle right there by him, as number 3 looked like he might have been getting into the secondary, but good job right there.
Yeah,
nice
that was
tackle.
Great stop by the Indians. This is what they need right now. Just, you know, put Northern Highlands where they are, keep them there.
Yeah, it'll be a 2nd and 9 coming up here for the Highlanders, and hopefully this Indians defense will be able to come up with a big stop, get that sideline reinvigorated. Look for that defensive line to get some pressure right here, Will. They've been a little lacking in that. What did I say, Will? John Testa missed a tackle, but and that is going to be a touchdown.
That is a touchdown, Highlanders. Looks like Testa missed the sack. The quarterback rolled out to the side and was able to make a complete pass. Diving catch by the wide receiver in the end zone.
Yeah, nice job right there by Charlie Cheney. He's been the #1 target this entire time. The quarterback, number 13, has been looking for him, and he found him, and that did not work out well there. I said they needed pressure. Will, they tried to come with the pressure. Testa just missed the tackle. He's superhuman, but he's not godly yet. The extra point is up, and it is through the uprights. And we now have a 10-7 game with 30 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Will, what do the Indians need to do right now to get back in this game?
I think they will need to change up their game plan just a little bit and just really focus on this game. You know, talking to Coach Kotlars before the game, he did say that, you know, the Indians came off a big win against Old Japan last week, but they just got to keep that sort of motivation and that hunger to win. And that's what they really need right now at this very moment, because they are getting a little sloppy. They got to get their heads in the game a little bit more, and I think a little change of game plan could help.
Yeah, well, they need to do something. As I was mentioning that spark before, if Testa would have been able to come up with the tackle on that play, that would have been another spark. But, you know, he's been making great plays all day. And if you look, it looks like Mo Gaga's shouting on the sideline right now. He seems to be trying to hype this team up. Him and Jake DeLucia right now, they're big parts of this team. They want to get them going. It's going to be a muffed kick right there, but Joe Fonseca is able to recover it. And he is going to break a couple of tackles. He will go down at the Indians' 40-yard line. Nice job out of him to get some nice yards after contact.
That is great positioning after the kickoff. You know, he was able to pull through that tackle. It looks like Northern Highlands didn't even know he got through, but eventually he was taken down.
Yeah, we see some former alumni from Wayne Valley. I see Ryan Michaels, Nick Duncan, and Nick Trani, all big parts of the team last year. Maybe they can give this team some big words, as they were in some big close games last year too, so hopefully they can hype this team up and get them ready.
Yeah, that would be something they could use right now.
Number 44, Dorsey, will check out, as the Indians are going to go with 3 wideouts to the right. The same formation that they were running a lot on the first drive here. Tommy Moran in the shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff to Testa. He's looking vertical. He's going to throw it deep, trying to find Mo Gaga, and that ball is going to be incomplete. Looked like it was slightly underthrown, unless the intended receiver was number 13, Chase Hemming.
Yeah, not sure on that one.
Whatever it was good coverage right there by the Highlanders, and that ball actually being underthrown might have helped, because if that ball was thrown right, might have been picked off, Will.
Yeah, that's a great point to bring up, Matt. Something you don't always see, but wonderful.
Nice to see the Indians taking a shot, though, Will. They had
Yeah.
that big play earlier by Chase Hemming and another big run by Testa. These big plays seem to be helping them a lot.
Yeah, it is good to see, changing up that game plan. We can make some bigger throws here. But the Northern Highlands defense seems to be
Will, note
covering
that the
Valley
Palma's
ball
uncovered. Oh, it is going to be a handoff, and Testa just has nowhere to go. This Highlanders front is different. This Highlanders front has come different in the second half, and they are ready.
This is something else that they've come out with after halftime. It's very hard for the Indians to deal with. It looks like they're trying most everything they can to try to get past them, but very tough here for the Indians.
Yeah, the Indians have nowhere to go. They're going to be faced with a 3rd and long, but that is going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. The teams will change sides, and the current score right now is the Northern Highlanders 10 and the Wayne Valley Indians 7. The Indians will be faced with a 3rd and 10 when we come back. And we are back here, Will, as the Northern Highlanders are up 10-7 at the start of the 4th quarter. The Wayne Valley Indians have the ball on their own 38-yard line, and they are faced with a 3rd and 11 right now. They'll be looking for a big play. They're going to have 4 wideouts, John Testa in the backfield and Tommy Moran in the shotgun. Highlanders look like they're going to send pressure right here. Tommy Moran's going to get that ball out quick. He does get it out. He gets it to Chase Hemming. Hemming's able to catch the ball. Be interesting to see where they mark him. They are going to mark him just short. It'll be a 4th and 1. Do not be surprised to see the Indians go for it here. I'd be very shocked if they punted.
Yeah, that was a great completion there. Matt, something to mention here for the Indians. It's been a big challenge this half, getting the momentum back in their hands. They started with it really early, but they lost it and just have not gotten it back. It's a tough uphill battle for them, but it's still possible.
Yeah, good job, though, right there by Tommy Moran. He recognized the blitz was coming. He got the pass out quick, and nice catch by Hemming. Set up this 4th and 1. Wayne Valley has a lot of weapons on offense. Will they could rush it with Tommy. They have Testa. They have Eli Lugo, who we know. They got Big Antipama. Be interesting to see what kind of play they'll go with here.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
Tommy Moran is going to take a QB draw, and he is going to get the 1st down. Good job there by Moran.
Yeah, beautiful quarterback sneak there. The offensive line made a little bit of a hole for Moran. He was able to get the yards, and that is an Indians 1st down. Great to see here. As I said, it's tough for the Indians to get this momentum back, but little things like that really, really do help them out.
Yeah, big 1st down right there, Will. And, the Indians, they're really looking to get away with some points here. Obviously, a touchdown would be great, but they want to at least tie this game and put the momentum back on their side. Moran takes a snap. He's going to roll out to the right. Nice block by John Testa. Moran fumbles the ball. And it is no signal yet. Highlanders pointing their way, and it is going to be recovered by the Northern Highlanders. Tommy Moran was trying to get the ball out. He tried to tuck it. He fumbled it on the way, and the Highlanders have recovered that, and that is a big spark for the Highlanders against the Indians.
Huge. We just talked about the Indians getting a little bit of their energy back, but, Tommy Moran just was not able to hold on to the ball. He was rushed by 3 men from Northern Highlands, and that play just went real south real fast.
Yeah, not what the Indians were looking for right there. As they got a big play on 3rd down, they converted on 4th down, and then to just lose the football like that and give Highlands a chance right now. This is the problem we've been talking about all day, Will. The Indians have the momentum early. They've kept Highlands in the game. They haven't been able to put them away, and because of it, they seem to be paying the price right now. Someone's got to make a big play for the Indians. They need an interception. They need a fumble. They need something. Highlands just got theirs. Let's see what Valley can do. Not the start they were looking for, as the running back's going to be able to run up, get about 8 yards on that. It'll be a 2nd and 2 coming up here. Nice run there by Ethan Harris, the senior running back. Well, who you got? Who you think's going to make a big play right here on this drive? Who do you like?
You know, I'm hoping to see something out of Moran here on defense.
Yeah, Tommy Moran, big cornerback, big safety. Number 3 is going to take the handoff. He's going to be able to pick up the 1st down, as he started originally going right. He ended up going to the left. It looks like we might have someone hurt on the field, though, for the Highlands. Someone has their helmet off. Defensive lineman.
Interesting how that happened.
Number 56, Declan Blaish, senior. And he's going to go off onto his sideline jogging, so it seems like he was all right. It must have just got tangled up or something.
Yeah.
Well, you know who I like? I think this defensive line is going to come with some pressure. They got Joe Mission, number 40, in the game.
Yeah.
He's had a big year so far. They got John Testa coming off the edge. I like to see that defensive line get a big sack right here, maybe even a fumble.
Yeah, that'd be really nice for the Indians. That's something they need desperately right now in this game.
Tommy Moran in one-on-one coverage on the near side. It's going to be a handoff to the left by number 3, and that play is going to be met. He'll gain about 3 yards on that, and it'll be a 2nd and long coming up here for the Highlanders. It's a matchup to watch, Will, as number 23, Charlie Cheney, who caught that last touchdown, seems to be shadowed right now by Tommy Moran. Tommy Moran wants to make a big play, and Cheney obviously looking to add to his totals tonight. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to target that matchup.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic going on in this game right now with Moran as a cornerback.
We'll have to see what play they go here. The Highlanders are going to fake the handoff to number 11. Net in the backfield. Big tackle right there by number 50. Frank Tortora. Great job to see him getting involved. We haven't mentioned his name too much tonight, but he's made some quality blocks on the offensive side. Nice tackle right there. And we will have a 3rd and long coming up here.
Yeah, that was a great play by Tortora. Good to see for the Indians. You know, it's plays like that where individuals can make a big difference and hopefully give the rest of the team a little bit of needed energy right now.
Exactly, Will. And if they can get a sack right here, or I don't even know how good this kid's leg is, but if they can get a sack or just keep them here, it might not even be able to take a field goal. Even if they'll be backed up in their own end zone, at least it'll only still be a 3-point game. Very close to within reason. Quarterback takes a snap, checking his progressions. He finds number 23, hit by Mo Gaga. That is not going to be a 1st down. However, it does look like they will be in field goal range. It'll be about a 4th and 3 coming up here. Will the Highlanders go for it? I would not recommend that, Will.
Yeah, I don't know. This could be a risky play for the Highlanders.
This seems really risky, as they're going to decide to go for it right here on a 4th and 5.
Yeah, this is some greed here, Matt.
I don't know about this, Will.
The Highlanders have really overpowered the Indians here in the 2nd half. I'm not sure this call.
The Highlanders were trying to get Valley to jump offside, and that's exactly what happened. Not exactly sure who did. They jumped offside, and Highlanders will get the 5 yards they need, and this will be a 1st down coming up. It seemed like they were just trying to get someone to jump offside, Will, and unfortunately Valley bid on it.
Yeah. They got what they wanted. Not good for the Indians.
Sloppy play, Will. Sloppy play.
Very
We've said it this whole
sloppy.
time that it's been hurting the Indians, and Highlanders are just knocking on the red. Oh no, they actually are inside the red zone again. They are 1 for 1 in here so far tonight. It's going to be a handoff to number 3. Going to cut back up the middle. Broke a couple of tackles. It seemed like there was a pile. Nice tackle at the end of the play by Frank Tortora. It is going to be a 2nd and 2 coming up here for the Highlanders.
You know, this is a really tough drive here for the Indians, Matt, because the Highlanders have gotten yards on pretty much every play, so it's going to be a real challenge for this defense to stop the Northern Highlands offense here, because they really got to pull out something big.
And the clock is not on Valley's side right now, Will. They still
Not at
do have
all.
7 minutes, but that kind of puts a lot of pressure for them to score, especially if Highlanders get a touchdown right here. They really can't afford that. That makes it a 2-possession game, and Valley would have to score pretty quick. It's going to be a handoff to number 3. Cuts up the middle, cuts left, reaches the ball over the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown for Northern Highlands. Broke through that Valley defensive front, which has been so good all year. Not what the Indians needed right there,
Not
Will.
at all, Matt. As you mentioned, with the clock, halfway through the fourth quarter here with 6 minutes and 44 seconds left, it is a 2-possession game for the Indians. They're going to need something huge in order to take this back and win. Very tough battle.
And the problem, Will, is that with the Valley having such a good ground and pound, that does not bode well for the clock. When you're winning, it's good. But the problem is when you're losing, you need big passing plays. And we're going to have to see Tommy Moran step up and show his true character right here. Will he be able to step up? Will he be able to find his big favorite targets, Chase Hemming and Anthony DePalma, even Elijah Lugo? He can make some big plays. We got to see something, though, here, Will. They need to score quick, and that defense needs to show why they've been so good all year.
Yeah, we're definitely hoping so. The Indians really, really need something big to shift the momentum.
Yeah, I
into
look
their
over at the Wayne Valley student section. It seems pretty quiet right now.
Yeah, I think a little more energy could help out.
I see senior Mo Gaga just screaming on the sideline trying to get this team involved, and he's actually forced to take a seat right now. Hopefully he'll be able to keep himself calm and cool and get this team fired up, because they need something right now. They need some kind of a spark. Maybe a big kickoff return, Will. How about that?
Yeah, that would be really nice right now, giving them some good field position.
I would be surprised if Haas kicks it in the air, but if he does, he actually does. He's going to kick it at Fonseca, who had that muff kick before. He's going to run up the middle. Oh, he just bounces off one tackle, and he is going to go down at about the 32-yard line for the Indians. Well, they will take over, and we're going to have to see what Tommy Moran's made of, Will.
Yeah, he's really going to need to shine here and, just show Northern Highlands his true power. Make some great passes.
They're going to need something, either a big run, a big pass. I mean, we've seen Northern Highlands make those big vertical passes all day, Will, and the Indians need to dial that up now. We know that they love to do that ground and pound style offense. Give it to Testa, give it to Lugo. You got to abandon that at some point. They're down 10. They only got 6.5 minutes left. They do have 3 timeouts, which is good. They're going to have to do something else here, though, Will. Someone needs to step up, make a spark, get this crowd back into it, get this team back into it. They're going to decide to do a QB draw there by Tommy Moran. That's going to be met at the line of scrimmage, going nowhere. It'll be a 2nd and long coming up here. Maybe picked up 1 yard on that play.
Yeah, interesting play call for the Indians on that one. I don't know what they were exactly expecting out of that play because, most times QB sneak, you're only getting 1 or 2 yards.
Yeah, it seemed like that they were trying to get the same result they had last time when Tommy Moran was able to break it out for a big run. But this Highlands defensive front has looked really good so far this second half. They've been ready for the run by Tommy, by John Testa, even by Elijah Lugo. So at some point the Indians have to abandon the run and just start passing the ball. It's going to be another run, Will. And it's just what we've been talking about. I don't agree with that play call at all.
Yeah, this is not what we're looking for out of the Indians. This 3rd down really has to be a pass here. We need something big or this game is just over.
Yeah, well, I just don't know why they ran it right there with John Testa. I mean, he's made big plays, but the Highlands offensive line, the Highlands defensive front has looked strong. The offensive line hasn't looked great, and it just seems like a wasted play call. You're setting yourself up right now with a 3rd and 12.
Yeah, the Highlanders' rushing defense has been so incredible this second half. The Indians should really not be going for those rushing plays.
Yeah, Valley's going to go out with 4 wide, and the Highlanders are just going to drop back a bunch of people in coverage. They're only going to rush 4. Going to have John Testa stay in the backfield and block. Tommy Moran's going to throw it out to the right to Elijah Lugo. About 2-yard pass, but he's able to get some yards there at the end. That's going to be really close. They're going to mark him just short of the 1st down, but nice job right there, yards after the catch for Elijah Lugo.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize it, but he's great after the catch.
Yeah, that was a great catch. Almost got taken down early, but able to just escape a tackle. And it looks like they are going to move the chains and make this a 1st down. Indians.
Great to see, Will. And they need more of that. They need the playmakers to step up. They need to see Lugo making big plays. They need John Testa. The run isn't working. You got to go to the pass. Maybe try a screen. Maybe try something. Some kind of play action, QB rollout. Get this vertical and get the Highlanders back down by their own end zone.
Yeah, great play by Lugo there. Put a little bit more energy in the Indians' hands.
Mo Gaga is going to motion all the way to the other side of the field, and there's going to be a timeout called That is called by the Northern Highlanders with 4.5 minutes left. Well, Will, time has been going a little quick right here. That was just to get a first down, and that went from about 6 minutes to 4.5. The Valley's can't be doing that.
Yeah, you're right. Just for one first down, we're going to need some bigger plays than that out of the Indians. If they want to take this game, they need to play it quick and make these big plays because their time is just ticking. It is not in their favor. Keep in mind, when Northern Highlands gets the ball, they're going to run that clock down. So the Indians really don't have much time left.
Yeah, and remember, it's the fourth quarter, so if they go out of bounds, the clock stops. They got to try some more out routes, some more corner routes. You got to stay out of the middle of the field. That's really what the key has to be here for the Indians.
Definitely.
And Tommy Moran's got to make sure that he doesn't take any sacks, because sacks will kill you. You'll lose yards, and the clock will just keep on ticking. Valley might even, this time out, actually, I think will be beneficial. They didn't even call it, but might be able to get them on a little bit of a quicker motion. Try and go no huddle a couple plays. They got to drive down the field right here, though. We're going to see what Tommy Moran is made of. We're just going to see what play call the coach decides to go with right here. If I was him, I would go with a little bit of a vertical pass, I think. Maybe have Anthony DePalma run to about the 40-yard line, go out of bounds, look for Chase Hemming. They're playing back on him. He can get about 5 to 10 yards right now and just head out of bounds. Like flag before the snap. It looks like he's going to call a false start on the offense.
Matt, really not what the Indians need right now. Such sloppy gameplay, and if they keep playing like this, there is no chance they're winning this game.
Yeah, well, they got to go that way, and right now they're going the wrong way.
Yep, exactly. We do see senior Benino Dorsey swapping in for number 1, James Junn, for the Indians.
Yeah, Junn has actually looked pretty good this year, but tonight he's been quiet. I don't even think he has a catch yet.
Yeah, I don't know if there has been many balls thrown because, keep in mind, the passing game has not been big for the Indians tonight. A lot of rushes.
Well, I'm telling you, I see Anthony DePalma right now on the near side. If I was Tommy Moran, I'd be looking his way. If he can just run some kind of a corner route or something. They're going to motion John Testa out to that side, too. Fake the screen that way. They're going to throw it to the right, and it just goes nowhere. And he stayed in bounds, too, so now the clock keeps on ticking. Not a very good play call right there. The Indians have just got to hurry up right now. They can't keep taking all this time.
No, it is really not looking good for them. We said at about 6 minutes that they need some incredible plays here to take this game back, but 1.5 minutes later, and they haven't done anything. So it's tough to watch.
Yeah, we have an injured player right now on the field. I think it was the same person that was injured before, number 56. Declan Blaish. He is a senior, 6'3", 335, so being that big, it does mean that there will be a lot more risk of injury. We'll hope that he's okay. The coaching staff is going to pick him up. He's jumping around, and he looks to be all right. Maybe come off, take a couple plays off, but right now for the Indians, they're huddling up right now after that injury timeout, and they need something, well.
They really need something, Matt. It can't be something small. It can't be something medium. Something big. Something really huge to really put the Highlanders down here.
These screens do not seem to be working, and if I'm Tommy Moran, I got to look for my playmakers. I mean, Anthony DePalma, he made a great catch earlier. You have Chase Hemming, who's made some big plays. Eli Lugo's looked great after the catch, getting a bunch of yards. You got to look for those guys. Someone's got to be open. Even Valley, you might even want to try and have Tommy Moran roll out a little bit. He's looked pretty good while he's rolled out. The offensive line has been able to handle it. I think you got to do something like that right here, Will, being a 2nd and 20 coming up. Tommy Moran's looking. He's looking at Mo Gega. He's then looking at John Testa. And Moran is brought down. What pursuit right there by number 33. Great tackle right there by Dan Takaliewicz. He's a senior, 6'3", 210. Big play right there. He just latched onto Tommy and was able to bring him down actually by the jersey. The clock keeps ticking. They're under 4 minutes now, and this is going to be a 3rd and very long. The Indians seem to be going the wrong way on this drive.
Yeah, Matt.
And wasting a lot of time while doing it, Will.
Going backwards is something you never want to do in the game of football, and the Indians have done it so much in this drive. It is not looking good, and, as of right now, unless something major changes, this game is looking to be over for the Indians.
Yeah, the Indians right now, they need some kind of a Hail Mary. I'm not going to call it a Hail Mary yet, but they need a big vertical passing play. They got to get someone going deep, and Tommy Moran's got to hit him in stride. It's really their only shot right now. They have a little shallow cross from Mo Gega. Tommy Moran steps up in the pocket. He's going to decide to run. I just don't see what that's going to do.
Yeah.
He'll pick up.
The most you're going to get on that is like 15 yards, and Not even sure if he got that much, and with such a gap in between the
He
line
ends
of
up-
scrimmage and the offside marker.
He ends up picking up 5 yards on that. So now you go from a 3rd and 30 to a 4th and 25. At least he got out of bounds, but
Yeah, one positive on the play, but you know, it's
and
rough.
with this little time left in the game, I mean, if the Indians don't get this game is over.
Yeah, definitely.
The game is going to come down to a 4th and 23
Mhm.
with a hungry Northern Highlands defense. Wouldn't be surprised to see them bring some pressure right here and force Tom Moran to get that ball out quick. Would not surprise me in the least bit. Indians are going to go with 4 wide and Testa in the backfield. Highlanders just tried to drop back in coverage, so Tom Moran's just going to have to look deep, getting some pressure, and they throw it a little past to John Testa. It's
Yeah, that pass, no matter if he caught it or not, is not going to be a game changer for the Indians. I'm not sure about that play call there.
Yeah, I just don't know why he would make that pass right there, Will. On a 4th and 23, John Testa, he can't break that many tackles, and there's just too many men. At that point, you just got to take a shot. If it gets picked off, it gets picked off, but you got to take some kind of a shot right there. You can't be just trying to go with a little dump off. If you're the Highlanders right now, you just run this clock down, and the Indians are going to have to waste all their timeouts. Maybe they'll get the ball back, try and get another touchdown, but things look grim unless they can get a turnover right here.
Even if they get one more touchdown, you know, doesn't mean anything because it's a 2-possession game right now. They got to get 10 more points here.
Tommy Moran should have tried to take a shot right there. Low snap. It's going to be handled, though, to number 3. He's going to break off a couple of tackles, and he will be at about a 2nd and 5 coming up here as the clock keeps on ticking. If you're Valley, you need a muffed snap. They need something, Will, and they honestly need to return whatever that something is. If they get a fumble, they just need to take it to the house to even have a shot right now because the time is just ticking.
Mm-hmm. Clock is not stopping, not in their favor right now.
And the Indians had their chances, Will. They got a lot of plays. They had some opportunities. They did not capitalize. And I was telling it this whole game, if you leave Highlands in this game, they'll take advantage.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened.
Such a high-skilled team, they could just
Highlands is going to hand it off. Number 3 actually slips in the backfield. A nice break right there for the Indians because they did not have good pursuit on that play. And they will call their first timeout right here. It will be a 3rd and 8 coming up for the Indians. For the Highlanders, rather. 17-7 right now, 2:08 left. We will be back. And we are back right now as the Highlanders come back onto the field. They will be faced with a 3rd and 9 from the Indians' 28-yard line. Expect nothing but a run here as they're just trying to wear this clock down. It's going to be a false start on the Highlanders right here. That'll push them back 5 yards. So it'll be a 3rd and 14 coming up right now. Doesn't change the game plan at all, Will. They're still just going to try and rush it.
Yeah.
If you're the Indians, you got to try and poke this ball loose.
Yeah, that's the only thing they could do right now.
You do the drills all the time. You got to try and go directly for the football, and we need to recover that fumble too. Maybe even take it back. That's what the Indians are looking for right now. Because even if they recover, even if they stop them right here, there's just the time is just too little. It might be a little bit too little, too late.
Yeah, the Indians just don't have anything going in their favor at this point, which with such a deficit in points is not good.
Highlanders take the snap. They're going to be a design QB run to the left. He's going to break through one tackle. Luckily, he's going to be brought down, but that was a lot of yards, and they might even be able to try for a field goal right here as he's brought down at the 25-yard line. Valley will call their second timeout with 2:01 left in the game. I would suspect the Highlanders would go for a field goal right here. Seems to be the most logical thing, Will.
Yeah,
most high school kickers can make this.
Yeah. You know, for Northern Highlands, if they can get a few more points, why not? Because that would mean a few more points gap for the Indians, and which would mean they cannot get a touchdown and a field goal. So I think definitely the right call here is a field goal here for Northern Highlands.
And if you're Valley, you got to send everyone and try and block that. We saw earlier the Highlanders were able to block the punt by Mo Giga. They ended up turning it into 6 on that drive. Valley will look to try and block it, maybe even take it back. They got to show their heart right now, their character and their hustle. I do not see the kicker on the field, however. And it looks like they're going to go for it.
Interesting decision. Looking like, as we saw earlier, a little bit of greed here from Northern Highlands.
It's going to be a fake handoff. He's looking. He's going to throw it towards the end zone to number 23. Ball is out of bounds. Almost caught right there for a touchdown. Ball will be out of bounds, and Valley will take over at their own 25-yard line with 1:54 left. And if you're Valley right now, Will, I think the only answer is a Hail Mary trips and then an onside kick.
Yeah,
they got to get vertical. Tommy Rand takes you got to take a shot. If they pick it off, so what? The game's over.
There's not many things they could do right now. So yeah, they just got to take those high-risk plays with high reward and just really hope they could get something big. Because if not and it fails, it doesn't really change anything.
We have looks like a timeout called by Highlands. They will take a timeout. That will be their second. So both teams will have one remaining here. They probably want to talk over what their defensive plan is. Will, you're Coach Cutlars right now. What do you do? What do you call?
Big pass. You just want to get that ball as far down the field as you can because Valley has awful field position right now on their own 25. And the only thing they could do right now is just a huge play.
Do you try and go for it all in one play, or do you try and get a couple 10-yard out routes and just try and put those together to get down the field?
Matt, I think considering the fact that they need at least 2 possessions here to take the lead, I think they're going to want to go for that in one play because, the clock is ticking. There's 1:54 left. There's really not much they can hope to do if it's not just a huge decision like that.
And we are back from that timeout as the Highlanders are up 17-7 right now with 1:54 left in the game. Wayne Valley has the football on their own 24-yard line. Expect, as Will said, a big pass, a Hail Mary trip, something vertical, something deep. Try and get out of bounds. Try and get in the end zone. All apply. Tommy Rand needs to take a shot right now. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to launch it deep. He finds Elijah Lugo. Lugo's running the wrong way. He's just going the wrong way. And that was just not very good football IQ right there. He then shoves number 1 after the play. That could also draw a penalty. That was just not good football IQ.
No.
The clock will keep on ticking. He didn't go out of bounds.
Yeah.
He got a lot of yards, but he ended up losing yards.
Yeah, that was just it looked good at first, but it's turning into something awful.
Yeah, bad IQ right there.
Yep.
7 yards he actually ended up losing right there. Tommy Rand's going to try a little screen to John Testa. John Testa's going to run up the thing. He gets a couple of blocks. He bounces off one tackle, spins off another one. Big play right there for John Testa. And the Wayne Valley Indians got to hurry it up. They need to keep it going. They got 1:23 left right now.
Remember, the clock is running.
Good screen call right there for the Indians, but they've just got to keep it going. The clock is not in their favor right now. Huge chunk of yards gained right there. Tommy Rand's got his team back to the line quickly. They got 4 wide. He's going to take it. He's going to roll to the right. He's looking for the end zone, looking for Anthony DePalma. Mo Giga actually slipped on that play, it looked like, or James Junn, whoever that receiver was, ended up slipping when he tried to go for his out route. That ball will be incomplete. It'll be a 2nd and 10 coming up here with 1:13. What do you see on that screenplay, Will?
Matt, that was just an incredible job by Testa after he caught that ball. He was able to break. I couldn't even count how many tackles. That was incredible. He ran all the way up to the 20. Great job by him, hoping to get these Indians a few points.
Yeah, 1:13 left here, Will. The Indians have got to score quick. They're down by 10 points. They only have 1 timeout left. They need to score and get an onside kick and get that onside kick. We'll see if they can do it. 4 wide, John Testa to the right. Tommy Moran looking. He's looking for the end zone. He finds someone. He has Anthony DePalma, and Anthony DePalma catches the touchdown.
Wow, man.
That's what you needed if you're Wayne Valley right there, Will.
Huge for the Indians. Wow.
4 plays right there. The Indians drive quickly. It would have been a lot nicer if they could have done this about 5 minutes ago.
Yes.
A lot less stressful.
Yeah, but Matt, there is a chance here for the Indians. They pulled off the huge drive we were talking about. DePalma with a great catch in the end zone. Hopefully the Indians can get this extra point.
This extra point is big, Will.
Yeah,
this is a
huge.
big extra point right now. You need to get this out. You can get a field goal to tie, and there's going to be a flag on the play. Looks like it'll be on the Indians. It might push them back. It's going to be an illegal substitution for Ricky Ruggiero trying to come on too late there, and that will move them back. Well, this extra point is huge right now because if they can get this, that means if they get the onside kick, they only need a field goal. However, if they don't get this, they'll have to find the end zone. This is a big extra point right now by Mo Geiga.
He
needs to sink this. He's been good all year. Let's see if he can do it again. The kick is up, and it's going to be no good.
I don't know what that was, Matt.
That was a very bad kick, Will.
Yeah.
And that just makes a tough job even tougher.
Yeah, the Indians here, the only thing they could do is just make an onside kick, get the ball, and, once again have a huge touchdown. And there is a chance here for them, much more of a chance than they had a couple seconds ago.
Will, you practice this all the time. We're going to have to see what they can do with it now.
Yeah, these are the moments you live for to really come out and be the hero.
Let's just give a great applause. We just want to make sure we recognize great job on that last drive. Tommy Moran, John Testa, and Anthony DePalma. DePalma getting to the end zone, making sure he catches the ball. Tommy with a beautiful pass. Very good job right there. And John Testa, beautiful job on the screen. Well, with that field goal being missed, it means that this onside kick becomes even huger because if Valley can get it, they're going for the win.
Yep. They're going to need this. If they don't,
people have very different perspectives on what is a good way to kick an onside. Some people say kick it up in the air and try and go get it. Some try and put it on the ground. We'll have to see here. You got to get it past the 50-yard line, though, so that the Indians have a chance. It'll be interesting to see what Mo Geiga goes for here. The whole game rides on this one play. Geiga kicks it. He's going to squib it, and that is fielded by number 23. He's been making big plays this entire day. Fields the onside kick, is able to recover, and unless there's some kind of turnover right here for the Highlanders, that will be the end of the game, Will.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any turnover. They're just taking knees here.
There's always a shot, Will. You never know.
There always is a little chance, but...
That was a good job right there by number 23. It did not look like the kick did what Mo Geiga wanted it to, as it bounced right into his arms. I'm sure he was trying to make it miss or wobble or something. The Highlanders are set up in the game-winning formation, taking a knee. They get it. I'm sure Valley will use their last time out, which they will. There's a 1:03 left. Barring any muffed punts or anything, or muffed snaps rather, this will be the end of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Matt, what are your thoughts on this game overall?
Well, Will, it was a good game at the end, but it was sloppy in the middle. Both teams had their chances, and I hope that Wayne Valley will take lessons from this game and see that when you have your opportunities, you got to make them count. And if you leave, as I've been saying all game, when you give the other team a shot, they will take advantage eventually. You can't keep giving them chances. They missed a punt. They had a couple of 3-and-outs in a row, and eventually you keep feeding Highlands chances, they'll take it. They're a very good football team. Valley is too, and Valley really could have won this game. But a nice job, a nice win for the Highlanders here, as they are going to knee it, and they're going to have to do it one more time. As long as they get this one more time off, it will be a loss for Wayne Valley, 17-13, and not a very well-played game. A couple of highlights to take away from the game. Great job by senior Anthony DePalma. He found the end zone. Couple of beautiful catches. Great job also by number 22 junior John Testa, as he was able to do a great job breaking tackles and getting upfield.
Yeah, definitely.
And that game is over as the quarterback knees it out. And this will be the end of the game. The Wayne Valley Indians will suffer their second defeat on the season, 17-13. Not a very well-played game for them as they had their chances.
No.
Let's hear some final thoughts on the game, Will.
Yeah, they came out strong, but really quickly, I don't know what happened to their game, but it just got real sloppy real fast, and they were not able to take anything back in their hands. That was really rough by the Indians, and, I'm not really sure what happened real early in the game, but you saw a little change in mentality there. I'm not really sure about that.
Another big takeaway where we have to make sure that Jake DeLucia, senior number 5, is okay. We see him in a sweatshirt right now, shaking hands with the other teammates. He's a big part of this Valley team. We saw that when he wasn't on the field. Their team was not as productive at all. We'll hope that he'll make a fast recovery. Yeah. Anyway, the Wayne Valley Indians will lose 17-13. They will go to 6-2 on the season. looking ahead towards the playoffs. Hopefully they'll be able to come back next week and get a win. That next week is their final regular season game before the playoffs, and I'm sure that they'll be able to take a lot of lessons from it. Aside from that, I'm Matt Crafting.
And this is Will Michaels.
Thanks for tuning into the V. We'll see you next time.